day it is. It's Thursday, which means we're super today, and we're also, well, I must admit, it's also spaghetti night as well. So yes, I think I've overindulged. So you might have to bear with me on a few minutes, especially in the early parts of qualifying. But the pictures, the action will definitely hopefully take the focus away from me struggling and be more on track as well. Before we go into do anything official, let's just quickly do the usual: share the stream out to all the drivers, and also we'll share it on Facebook as well, and we'll get some viewers going. Of course, all your contributions are absolutely great to have. We like to have your contributions, and it's really good. It's really good for you, anyone, to get involved, really. So yeah, we're more than everyone in IRC is more than happy for you to get involved in and yeah, contribute, and that's what we like to see. We like a bit of interactive in the races. Anyway, just taking a look at the Monaco track map behind us here at the moment. So we are here right at the heartland of Monte Carlo in Monaco. 19 turns around this shortish circuit. It's 2.0 miles, and Max Verstappen has got the lap record of 1:14.2, which was absolutely destroyed last night, wasn't it, by the elite drivers? Absolutely fantastic pace. What a race as well from the elite guys. Really phenomenal stuff for late safety car, and we had a freeway battle for the win, didn't we? And Hills are up, absolutely phenomenal. His first ever race win in IRC Elite. I got so carried away last night, I forgot to say that. Absolutely fantastic stuff from the Greek driver. To be honest, though, in Spain as well, he was looking very strong in Spain qualifying as well. It didn't go for him very right in the race, did it? But yeah, I feel it. But I think that after the Spanish race, he's really got the bit between his teeth, hasn't he? But I suggest you go back and watch that race. Phenomenal stuff, absolutely phenomenal. The elite season this year has been great, and of course we also had Matt on the stream last night as well, which was a great contributor as well, and also it was great to have his thoughts on the season so far. So we had a lot of positives last night. One big negative tonight is that I'm on my own. So unfortunately for you guys, you're going to have to hear my Forester accent for the next 2 hours or so. Yeah, don't worry about that though, because the jewel in the crown of Formula 1 is coming up in just a few moments' time, so that will definitely get the taste buds tingling, won't it? As you can see, the track in the background there is absolutely fantastic. This gives us a good opportunity to go through the championship standings, shall we? And at the moment, not that bad. Who really hasn't been that bad this season. 53 points at the moment is his lead so far. Whatever happens today, he would still be leading the championship. He's on 118 points. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic from not that bad. He has been absolutely brilliant, hasn't he? In qualifying is probably his only weakness, but even still, he's usually there or thereabouts, isn't he? Matt is second at the moment on 65 points. Then we got Jonathan Cox, who's on 52 points. He's feeling a bit nervous tonight, Jonathan Cox is, but of course his talent will shine through. I have no doubt about that. Roscoe in fourth at the moment. He's I feel that Roscoe, who's having a very strong season compared to last season, but still I feel that it should be a lot more points than what he's got. He's been unlucky, really, hasn't he, Roscoe? But I tell you what, he is looking very good this season. In fifth position, we have Physico. A great start to the season for Physico. That's what I like about this season. It's completely changed, hasn't it? It's brilliant stuff to see some of these drivers in the mid pack who is right there at top. Asdog, who's had 2 pole positions this season, is sixth at the moment, championship on 31 points. It's so close between Roscoe, Physico, and Asdog. Brilliant stuff in that field. Asdog again probably should be a little higher up than what he is at the moment. But it's unfortunately it's a bit like the Sebastian Vettel season, wasn't it, back in 2010, where Red Bull was so dominant in qualifying, but in the races it just was a different story. I feel that's a bit like Asdog's season so far, so hopefully it will come good fairly soon. Timmy having a great debut season so far, isn't he? He really came alive, didn't he, in Baku? And he carried that over in Spain as well. Timmy looking a good force, isn't he? Sven is on 24 points as well. He has really upped his game, hasn't he? Since especially towards the end of last season in the Red Bull, he was a Q3 regular, wasn't he? Sven is. Then we got Harry in 9th position at the moment on 22 points. As as in ninth position, and also we got Snap in 10th position. Of course, Snapper has got very good pace on here, hasn't he? Snap has. I feel that I feel hopefully if we can get some more finishes, then he'll be he's phenomenal. Double once again, of course, just outside the top 10 in 11th position. Double at the moment on 16 points as well, and he's been a Q3 regular, hasn't he? Double has. Unfortunately, of course, we had a huge accident on the racing on the start line last time out. And it was a very odd. We had a bit of footage on board with doubles Williams. It was really odd how his car just went into neutral. I think that there was an issue there with his car or something, but he just went into neutral and Asdog went slamming into the back of him. Very reminiscent of the crash, the start line crash that I think happened in Spain in 2003 with Raikkonen went over the back of a Jaguar, maybe I think it was. I think it might have been Pitsonia, the very talented Brazilian driver. Who actually drove for Williams, didn't he, for a couple of races in 2005, I believe it was. That was a funny old year, wasn't it, for Williams? I think he drove. Did he drive in 2004 as well? I think Marc Genet was also in the was also the Williams as well, wasn't he? Funny old couple of years that was for Williams, 2004 and 5. But yeah, so very reminiscent, and I think I'm not sure if I should have. Hang on, I've saved it somewhere. I think that there might be a penalty for double, unfortunately. Let's just take a quick glance then. Oh yeah, so Jonathan Cox has got a Q3 ban for no footage. Super Steve, unfortunately, will not be making a return, I don't think, at the moment. Matt has got a Q3 ban as well. Double or full qualifying ban for the crash he had on the start line. To be honest, it's it was a very unusual problem, wasn't it, for double? But yeah, unfortunately, it did cost Asdog. To go for it, but it was not Double's fault. I feel that there was a problem with the car, but yeah, it's just that's motor racing though, unfortunately. And we got Mercedes looking very interested to come out on track at the moment, and it is not that bad at the moment. As I said before, what happens here tonight in this very difficult Monaco street circuit. We've got a second Mercedes out there as well. Behind him is Timmy. And the accelerator right now, of course, they elongated the pit exit, and they a couple of years ago, didn't they? It's because it didn't used to be a pit lane. Didn't used to be a pit lane out there, did it? It was just kind of feet out on track. Just having a look at not that bad. Then he's coming through Casino Square now, dropping downhill now into Mirabeau. You can see, look at that. Then the inside tyre unloads there now into the Lowe's hairpin. I'm not even sure if is it called the Lowe's hairpin now. I can't remember. I know there used to be a hotel there called the Lowe's hairpin, didn't it? And now, as they come through Portier now, of course, where Ayrton Senna went off famously in 1988, absolutely dominating in that McLaren, wasn't he? But unfortunately, he pushed too hard and went off the track. As Perez is in the comments, and he's already said, "Go Dave, he will survive 5 laps max." Oh, that's harsh, very harsh indeed. Of course, double retired from the session because he's got a 4 Q3 ban, which unfortunately is that's probably one of the worst places where you can have a qualifying ban around here. We've only got 15 drivers in this qualifying session, so this is going to be a practice session. So it's a good opportunity for me to have a natter about the history of the Monaco street circuit. On board then come for Anthony Noche now. Only one DRS available here. We're going to be on board the championship leader, not that bad on the soft compound tyre. Coming into Sandoval now, we've had a lot of crash there. Hamilton went off there in 2007, didn't he? Now climbing up the hill, we've got Jonathan Cox there, which just said good luck guys, and good evening Sean. Good evening Jonathan. I hope you're well tonight, and I hope he's ready to go. Coming into Casino Square now, Martin Brundle went off there in 2006 and 96, and now into Mirabeau again then. Of course that's not that bad, clipping the inside barrier there. Of course Rosberg went off there, didn't he, in 2014, as me and Matt touched on last night. We're both very sore about that, so didn't we? So yeah, very disappointing now, coming out of Portier now. As one of the best overtaking moves I've ever seen around here was Hulkenberg, I think. Absolutely fantastic. Moved out now down to the C-front chicane. Of course, they moved the barrier back there, didn't they, several years ago after awful crashes with Perez was the last had an awful crash there. Claude has joined the session, but unfortunately he's a little late now. And into the swimming pool. They've opened up the second swimming pool there back in 2003, of course, there, and that also helped the track time come now down now is now into the final section now. Of course, only one DRS zone in and accelerates away, not that bad is. And where does he go? He goes on the 130 at the moment in the Mercedes. His teammate was following behind him, and he's gone on to a 112. This track evolution around here on the street circuit is just going to get better and better. And I must say that after this race there, we go to the in quotes the real F1 tracks. Then we of course we go Canada, then we go to France. No, I'm not a fan of France personally. So I must admit though, on league racing, it usually brings us some absolute threats. Roscoe goes second on the league racing. France does usually give us some absolutely fantastic racing. Oh no, he's misjudged the braking point out of the second swimming pool there, and he is going to have to come back in the pits. John is in the Haas. That is an awful lot of damage on the Haas car there. As he took me by surprise as well. Blimey. As Matt is at fifth. Is in fifth position. Asdol has gone to fourth at the moment. As we said, Asdol and Roscoe have been very good in qualifying. They just need to get to the end of the race, don't they? Jonathan Cox there has got one of the Toro Rossos in front of him. I think that might be Matt. It is Matt at the moment. And now coming through into Portier as accelerating away there. I think there's a wall there now, isn't there, in real life, isn't there? So you can't really see over the barrier anymore, because there's a lot of development coming through at Monaco at the moment. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be next to the water much anymore. That's a yellow flag because we got a Red Bull off in the background, and I think that's Roscoe. Red Bull got a very strong team lineup this season. I feel that as the season goes on, Dave is just going to get quicker and quicker. Of course, Roscoe is already at the sharp end, isn't he? As just on board Jonathan Hayes coming through the final corner out into Anthony Noge. I think he was the man, he was the brainchild behind this wacky idea. Jonathan Cox has already set the pace, hasn't he? He's gone into 11 already, so he's not hanging around in the Ferrari. He was very happy that Ferrari got their new livery. As just watching Harry now in the McLaren car too. As David just said, BP, I love you. So I said that's to Benito Perez, of course, who was predicted that Dave will last 5 laps. I really hope he doesn't. I must admit, in a way, I kind of hope that we get Dave in the commentary box again, like we did in Spain. But at the same time, if he's in the commentary box, that usually means that he's out of the race. So it's kind of we don't really want to see Dave out of the race. Of course, Dave, on for a strong result at the moment. He is currently sitting 12th in the championship on 12 points, and John's again, his actual points don't really rectify his speed, does it? Harry goes into 4th at the moment in the McLaren in car 2. He's taking over Van Doren's number at the moment. And look at this, and you can see the pit lane was developed back in 2004. It was, wasn't it? A lot of development going on in 2003 and onwards, and of course one of them was the pit lane. If you remember the pit lane of old, my gosh, that was so narrow, wasn't it? It was ridiculous. It was such a tight pit lane around here. And as you can see, we're on board Snap at the moment in the Renault. Not sure Snap will be happy with the season or not. I think that Snap would be disappointed with the pace he's had and to accumulate only 16 points so far, but he is in the top 10. So yeah, but and he's got a lot more points at this stage of the season than he did last season. So yeah, from that point of view, he's definitely loving this game, isn't he? DRS enabled now, got a yellow flag in 1. What's going? Oh, it's Energy down, who's gone off, just coming straight out of the pit. So the tyres obviously not warm enough there, and I think that's a bit of Ferrari debris on the inside. There it is. I think he just touched the inside wall there in the Ferrari. Energy down did. So yeah, maybe hugging the corner a bit too much there in the Scarlet Ferrari. On board Snap Anchors coming through, just coming through Casino Square. And it'd be interesting to hear what your favourite Monaco Grand Prix are. To be honest, you could really list them off, can't you? Of course, then I think around 95 is probably where my knowledge really began on Monaco. I must admit, obviously though, the famous 92 was one of them though. Fantastic battling towards the end between Senna and Mansell, absolutely fantastic stuff. And we had a similar moment last night, didn't we, with Vanquish and Hills-Are-Up. Brilliant race that Vanquish going for, and a different strategy in the end, which possibly might have cost him the race win, possibly. But I'm no strategist, so yeah. Snapback just coming through the swimming pool now. We've also got the 1982 Grand Prix, where it seems like no one wanted to win that race. As I think Tracy won it in the end. But yeah, that was a race where we had cars running out of fuel, cars crashing. We had the Tijeras retire when he was about to take the lead. It was all sorts going on. Absolutely weirdo going through that was Pro, because it was starting to rain towards the end as well, where Prost was leading, then he just went flying off, didn't he? Coming out of the seafront chicane. It wasn't called the seafront chicane back then, no, was it? I can't remember what it was called. But yeah, and yeah, that was a really odd race. Course 84, where Ayrton Senna really made his mark on the sport, didn't he? In that incredible wet race, wasn't it, as well? Absolutely fantastic drive from Ayrton Senna. Really just showed his speed. We're on board David Hunter on the hard compound tyre as he's just coming through the swimming pool boat. Course 88, as we mentioned before, Ayrton Senna and absolutely was trying to blitz the field really, but unfortunately went off at Portier. And of course, then he did go for 6 wins, didn't he? In a row, Senna did. Sorry, not 6 wins in a row, 6 wins at this circuit. Fantastic stuff. Going to more of the modern era now. We also had Jonathan Cox is very happy with his time on. He's the only man in the Evans at the moment. We're on board the second Renault here. Wee John is back out there at the moment. We're just going to stay with the Renault driver coming through Casino Square then. Yeah, so going to the more modern times then, of course, 96 obviously comes to mind. Only 3 drivers classified. I think 4 finishers though, because I think Frentzen finished, even though he was several laps behind in the Sauber. We had Panis who won that day, didn't we? It was a one and only win here, and it was an absolutely fantastic day. Ligier's, when he was driving the Ligier, that was the last year that Ligier were involved in Formula 1. Of course, then we had David Coulthard, who was sporting Michael Schumacher's helmet, because he had a problem with his own helmet, didn't he? And then we had Johnny Herbert as well on the podium as well. Fantastic stuff. 97 as well was a very odd race, wasn't it? Williams started on the slick tires when it really wasn't the ideal strategy, was it? And both Villeneuve and Frentzen just really struggled. Absolutely great day, because that was a Barrichello finished second on that day in the Stewart. That was Stewart's only 6th race or 5th race in the go to Valentino. Fisico just got too much curve there, but he's gone up to second now. Looking very strong there, Fisico. It's good stuff. Very good stuff indeed. What about Wee John? He's in the hairpin now. Just behind him is Energy Dan. And just beyond Energy Dan is Mercedes, I believe it is. Yeah, well, it's a Mercedes. Just trying to work out who it is. It's Timmy. So Timmy just coming through as well. Just staying on board with Wee John then. Yeah, so 97 was good. 98, I think, Wurtz causing Schumacher all sorts of issues, wasn't he, when he was in the Benetton. That was interesting stuff as well. Yeah, of course, then we go more to the modern times as well. 2008, probably one of my personal favourites, obviously. Where is a rainy track as well, where it's raining again, obviously, and really Hamilton absolutely did a great job that day. Of course, he hit the barrier at the exit to back, didn't he? And he caused himself a puncture, which he made up for very nice indeed, didn't he? Wee John not using DRS at the moment, so he's still just trying to get himself into the groove around this track. He's done a 160 at the moment, so lets Timmy go by. So got a yellow flag out there at the moment in 2 and 3. Just taking a look to see what's going on, and that was a very laggy Ferrari in the background there. Oh, that's why there's a puncture on Fisico's Renault there. That's an awful puncture as well, and he's going to have to come back into the pits. And so you can see, I think he must have tapped the wall there, and he's going to miss the pit lane. He just about gets in. He had 4 locks there, didn't he, in the Renault? But yeah, Fisico, yeah, getting a puncture earlier on in this session at the moment. As of course. Price, no, he ain't called Price Kumquat anymore, is he? Knowlesy, who changes his name, changes his name quite often at the moment. I was trying to think of something funny to say, and that just fell flat. But he's just mentioned in the comments there. Going to finish. Jonathan Cox is going to finish second after everyone crashes out. Hello. Oh, and talking of crashing out, I think Energy Dan has gone out as well. Just taking a quick look. Is that at the? I think it's at the seafront chicane, isn't it? Just on board. That's a Ferrari. Oh, and Snap is gone as well. I'm not sure. That's a huge accident. That is a huge accident for Energy Dan. And oh no, that's a big blow. Is that we go on to once? I forgot to mention. We must welcome back Steve, but we'll talk about Steve in a minute. And yeah, the Ferrari's been cleared up now. I'm hoping that Snap is just retarded in the pits, because then we like to see Snap out on track. So Energy Dan had a huge accident coming out the Monaco tunnel there. And a big accident indeed. We're on board, of course. Oh, Steve there just kissing the outside barrier there at the in the swimming pool section. But we're on board Steve at the moment. So welcome back, Steve. He hasn't been racing for a while, so what a way to get back to into into the Formula 1 action by driving around the streets of Monaco in anger as well. Penny's out there as well at the moment. Penny is on the second sector at the moment. He has lost a bit of his end plate there. Physico is retired from the session, but don't worry everyone, he's still in it to win it at the moment. So he is so he's just called it a day in Q1 and just well, yo, flag's floating around at the moment. See as Marshall just on the exit, just on the inside of Anthony Noge, as Penny goes into an 18 at the moment. What about Steve then? So just coming through the Lowes Hereford at the moment and just accelerating away there. Yeah, so anyway, going back to me nattering on. Yeah, 2008 was actually fantastic. I really enjoyed that race, really good. Of course, 2012 was a very much of a nail biting year, wasn't it? Really, as Mark Webber won that race, didn't he? But he had like a queue of 5 or 6 cars behind him, didn't he? And of course, then it started to rain towards the end. Oh, and Steve actually hitting the same barrier where Hamilton hit. Of course, back in 2008. This one I got a puncture. Steve just throwing it all against the wall there, and he damages that end plate. Is he going to carry on? He is going to carry on. Steve. So yeah. So I doubt Steve has had much practice time. So he's just trying to get as much practice time as he can. And he goes into 9th position at the moment. So good job there. And so he is good. He's put a lap in at the moment. So the only guys who got there at the moment is Penny, who is just cruising back to the pit, and also we've also got a Mercedes back out there as well. Who is that? I think that's Timmy, isn't it? I can't really see. Oh, we've also got a Haas out there as well. So a couple of drivers going out there and just trying to get their groove on, isn't it? Really? Sorry, it's not that bad. The championship leader at the moment. So it's interesting to see what he does. You can see that. Look how nasty the bumps are coming out of the pit lane there. You've got to really be on your toes, haven't you? Unfortunately, the Ferrari of Energy Dan, I think, hit the inside wall there, and then he had a you must have had a spectacular crash down at the Seafront chicane, because yeah, you don't crash lightly down there, do you? We got an all-star list of who's crashed out there. Jensen Button did in 2003. He missed the race, didn't he? Perez also in 2011, he missed the race as well, and he missed the next race as well in Canada. And of course, that famous 2011 Canadian Grand Prix as Pedro da Rosa was subbed in, wasn't he? And of course, we've also had Carl Vendiger had an awful crash down here in '94, didn't he? I had concussion, really, and missed most of '94. I think the rest of '94, and he wasn't the same driver after that, was he? Really, he started '95 before Bullion replaced him here, didn't he? So it's a shame for Carl Vendiger, that was in the Sauber. And yeah, so pretty dark times the '94 season, wasn't it, in Formula 1? And just taking a look there, I think that's is that Wee John there behind it? It is Wee John in the Haas at the moment. So he just on board of him as he's coming through. So it's still quite a busy track out there. It's gone more not that bad then. So the track is starting to rubber in now. So he's going for an attack now. He had to be set a time quite early on in the session. Now climbing up the hill then. Is now coming up into the casino square now. And yeah, so just carrying on our lovely trip down memory lane in Monaco. Yeah, of course, 2014. I think mainly qualifying was the headline that year, wasn't it? Really? Yeah, Rosberg couldn't slow it down, could he? In the corner we just went by. Oh, lovely shot of the future. We had a shot like this last night, didn't we, on board a Ferrari? Fantastic stuff. I'm loving this shot. Absolutely beautiful stuff. You can see on the left-hand side where where the tower is. That was just the rain light there, and you could see. So yeah, of course. Also, we also had another infamous moment, didn't we? Where Schumacher also parked his car, didn't he? He was coming up to that corner now in 2006. Well, sent to the back of the grid. So yeah, just around this corner here, of course. We've had a lot of action around here as well. Of course, I remember I think it was Trulli and Chandrock, was it, who decided to get a bit too close to each other, didn't they? And you're not that bad as a 10th slower in the final. So I wasn't really paying much attention to not that bad time there, because I feel that he's just trying to get the rub of the green in at the moment. Of course, he's done 3 laps on these soft compact tires, so this is more of a long run, I feel. This is not an out-and-out fast lap. This is not an out-and-out qualifying lap. Because I don't think this is about time for not that bad. This is about getting into the groove of the Monaco circuit. So yeah, do not take too much notice of the times there. So it's basically like a practice 1 or a practice 2 on the Formula 1 weekend. This one is, but albeit it's a lot shorter. You've only got 18 minutes instead of 3 hours. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Ooh, must be Must be the bolognese. And yeah, so as Timmy has retired from the, oh, he's retired though. He has retired from the session. Timmy has. I think he's going to the wall around sector 3. He's at the swimming pool, and there it is. That's a big blow for Timmy. He's going to have to start from 14th on the grid. Double is now up to 13th then. And oh dear, Timmy, who was really announced himself, didn't he, in Baku? And I was wondering if he was a street specialist. Unfortunately, if he is a street specialist, he's going to have to really show his pace. But Timmy is out, so as we're going to Q2, we might be only losing 2 cars in this qualifying session. As into the pits comes Wee John then. So I think that's it then for Q1, and I think a lot of you are happy that I don't have to natter about the history and show my age. Well, I'm going to show my age once more because I'm finished talking about my favourite Monaco Grand Prix. A lot of people say that this track is possibly outgrown Formula 1, but just making a list there of how great races we've had here. Yeah, a lot of them was in the 90s, in the early 2000s, but even like 2015, you got some famous moments, haven't you? Like Lewis Hamilton didn't box early enough, and he unfortunately lost a win there, didn't he? 2016, of course, that wet dry race, and Hamilton did a great job, didn't he, on that day? Mercedes did an absolute masterstroke by not pitting Hamilton for winter tyres, and that, well, to be honest, that wasn't what won in the race, was it? It was Red Bull's Red Bull's less than quick pit stop work, which cost the win for Hamilton that day. And yeah, so basically that's the history of the Monaco circuit. You can go on and on and on for Monaco, can't you? Really, it's been here since it's been here for a very long time. Well, I think the first ever Monaco Grand Prix was 1922. I think that I have a feeling I'm wrong about that, and I think that's a different day for something else. But that's what I've got a feeling about. Hopefully someone will be able to tell me I'm right, but I'm not. I don't think I am right about that. As we've got a lovely shot here of the pit lane here. So as you can see then, you can see it overlooks then just the exit of the second part of the swimming pool here. So we've got 13 drivers. Double is unfortunately unable to take part in this session. And then you can see then the tyres are now starting to, what tyres are they going to go on, and what is the weather like in the race later on. Doubles again retired from session, of course, because of the issue we had in Spain, unfortunately. And then here's Asdog, the man who was a victim of Doubles Williams refusing to move off the line. Anyway, then so Asdog is the first man out on track, and Jonathan Cox there, who's my weather forecaster. Is he usually tells us about the weather, and Claude has left F1. No, yeah, wait, I don't know if he's left F1, but he's left the session anyway. So Claude unfortunately was in and he's back out, and Nigel then is also, of course, Nigel, a elite driver. He had a great drive last night, his first ever podium in IRC. So Nigel can now start to build. Can he build his legacy now? He is. I've seen Nigel race a few other times, and he's a very quick driver. But I think that he might be able to start to build on from that very strong race last night. And Nigel said that no wet. So of course, I think I wonder if anyone will go out and save tyres and go on the wet tyres. It's an interesting tactic. Anyway, at the moment, Asdog's on the hardest compound tyre, and a lot of you might wonder how do I know that? Well, I would say that it's because I'm really smart, and then you all wouldn't believe me because I've got an IQ of quite low, to be honest. Anyway, it's not about my IQ; it's about the racing. And the reason why I know he's on the hard compound tyre is because it's got a white stripe on the. It's got the markings on the tyre are white. So where it says Pirelli P0, the writing, and that's the colour, and basically the writing is white. That's what I'm trying to say. And of course, if it's yellow, that's the medium tyre, and if it's red, and it's the soft compound tyre. So yeah, that was a long explanation for me just to say that. But there you go. I like to go long-winded around all my answers. It's going into Lowe's hairpin now, and you can see Asdog just about making around there. They need a different steering wheel rack, don't they, for this for this race, don't they? Because these F1 cars are pretty poor in terms of turning, aren't they? Really, in terms of slow in terms of slow corner speeds. You probably, I think a London taxi might be better around here, to be honest. Asdog coming into the seafront chicane, and we seen a lot of cars last night jumping that chicane, didn't we? And I think Asdog might have done it as well, because he's really dropped off the pace there. Physico's on and up and on, so Asdog's going to go around again. He's on the hard compound tires, so that might hurt him. We'll find out very soon. So Physico's on that one. In front of him's a Toro Rosso at the moment. And of course the viewers are starting to come up now as they know that the race is getting closer. That is the main event, and that's what we're going to watch tonight. But I must admit, if you do enjoy speed, then of course stick with us, because qualifying is where the cars are really at their absolute best, don't they, in terms of performance. And Physico coming down to the seafront chicane, and of course Asdog skip the corner here. Physico should be well within track limits there, very close to the inside wall there. And to be honest, this is a very tricky section as well. This is where Timmy went off, and to be honest, Timmy's in a very prestige company though, isn't he? He's Rosberg's gone off around there. We've had all sorts. I think we had Kovalainen go off there 1 year, one Paolo Montoya in 2001. Oh, and Physico has lost a bit of the end plate there. John has gone on a 15.3 at the moment. Going across the line now is Physico, and he goes 1 minute 12 there on the medium compound tyre there for Physico. He unfortunately damaged his front wing at the moment. How's about to start that? Not that bad out there at the moment. Oh, blimey, look at the sunlight out there. Absolutely beautiful day. It's a contrast to yesterday. We had a bit of rain, didn't we, in Q2 and to start Q3. Absolutely nothing of the sort at the moment. And Jonathan Cox has also confirmed that as well. We've got a yellow flag in 2. Oh, and that's why down at Mirabeau, one of the Haas's has parked his car in the Rosberg parking space, so he's just trying to get out now. He's what, and so John there just trying to get out there, and it's a very difficult track this is, and he's done a good job there to get out there as well. Of course, Glock has been in the wall around there as well. Asdog goes third fastest on the hard compound tire. Jonathan Cox goes second fastest on the hard compound tire. John is fifth at the moment, not that bad, is in sixth. Harry is just coming out of the tunnel now. We got Steve, who's also coming out of the tunnel as well. But what about Matt? He's into tab back. Oh, and I think he's actually took a bit wider corner, but he's carrying on. He's got a bit of damage on the inside of the end plate there. I think it's the the right hand side. And he's carrying on, so he's coming around the front of the corner there. Car 80, DRS enabled. Remember, there's only one DRS zone around here. And what's he going to do? He comes across the line. He still goes second there. But that's a big old clout on the wall, isn't it? And I think we've just seen Harry go second. We did see Harry go second on the medium compound tire as well. Oh, it's all go at the moment, isn't it? So we have 7 runners. So we've 7 cars already taken to the streets of Monaco, and I've got a time in the moment, but we're on board. Not that bad. I don't think that. Feel not that bad. We'd like to have another crack at this, and he is going to now. He is. He's run out. He's almost out of fuel though. He's got to be careful because he's got to make it back to the pits, otherwise he won't be able to continue in this session. And he goes fastest 4 seconds quicker than, so he made a mistake earlier on, but he's on provisional pole. Well, yeah, on provisional pole. Remember, this is just to get through to Q3, isn't it? So we're expecting to lose 2 cars in this session. 1 car, so 11th and 12th position is the places that we're going to lose. So that's what we're aiming for in this session. Of course, unfortunately, double is going to start 13 now. So I think he'd be very happy with that, won't he? So it's 2 positions up. Harry's just coming into the cruising into pits, as is Matt at the moment as well. So let's just take a quick look at the standards at the moment. So not that bad, as fast at the moment, showing he's got speed in that Mercedes, which is, to be honest, it's never ever a doubt, is it? Second is Physico, Harry in third, then we got Matt fourth, Jonathan fifth on hard compound tires, 6th position is Asdog, also on hard compound tires as well. And a Red Bull flying out the pit lane there. Really, I think he was absolutely cutting up the McLaren driver there. Steve is back on out loud, so is Penny, and so is Snap then. So yeah, we got 3 drivers out there at the moment. Like Lionel Stern and they're just getting out of the way there. So very gentlemanly like of Snap in the Renault. So lovely shot here, as you can see then, the McLaren. And I'm loving Penny's helmet as well. It matches the car. I love a bit of colour coordination. Brilliant stuff. Of course, Steve's on the soft compound tire, so he's going to try and get the. He's going to try and unsettle the cars at the front there, isn't he? Really. And this is kind of Steve's attack plan here, is to really upset the Apple car at the front here. DRS enabled now, so he's stored all his earth, and now he accelerates away then. So we're on board Steve then, going into Sandoval then. As you can see, they're now coming up the hill. We've had a lot of cars in that corner. Mass had an awful had a couple of awful crashes out in 2013, didn't he? Verstappen went there quite hard in 15, I think, when he misjudged Roman Grosjean's braking. As Penny going a bit wide there at Casino Square. How's he doing for his first sector? It's a 19.3 for the first sector. Coming down to Mirabo now, you can see the front right tire gets unloaded there, doesn't it? Which is very unusual to see that, but that's just how much the track dips away there. Even though it's not really a track, is it? It's a public road. Accelerating away, going into the tunnel now. Of course, the only track on the Formula 1 calendar to have a tunnel. And I think the only other sensible place to have a DRS on this track was in the tunnel, really. But even so, I don't think it's not wise because of all the air. Basically the air does weird stuff. I'm not an aerodynamicist, to be honest, so yeah. Ask Adrian. Oh, he's gone into the wall very heavily. That's reminiscent of Rosberg's crash in 2008, and that's a big crash there from Penny. He is out of qualifying. Oh, that's a big blow for Penny as well, and huge crash there from Penny. John Cox just commented on the stream. We'll come back to that in a minute, but unfortunately for Penny, he is out, and Steve is also coming to the pits as well. Snap is just about to finish off his lap, but a big blow for Penny. You can see he got very wide in the first part of the swimming pool, and if you mess up the one part of the swimming pool, you're almost certainly going to have a trip into the barriers. So that's a big blow indeed, isn't it, for Penny? Here comes David Malone. So Jonathan just said in the comment section, so we're just on board with David Malone. Got a couple of yellow flags out there as the track is really starting to get busy now, isn't it? Matt is out there as well on the medium compound tyre, and you can see they've got a couple of yellow flags out there as well. So John we're on board with at the moment, and the Haas, he's 7th at the moment. He's on the soft compound tyre. Oh, Snap has lost his front wing at the moment. He's on the hard compound tyre, Snap is. And he's going to have to get back in. Well, it's quite a short track around here. You see, look at the traffic is going to be, to be honest, traffic can be a nightmare around here. And oh, John's in the barrier there as he damages his end plate. I think he might have got away with it. We're just watching Dave now. Dave is on the medium compound tyre as well. That's, yeah, Jonathan reckons he's safe, but I'm not too sure. What do you think? I wouldn't ask me, Jonathan. Yeah. Let's just say that I would recommend you. I would say you're safe, but probably get out there to have a banker. Carton has just said a lot of punches in this race. Mark my word. So that's that's Carton's prediction. Of course, we had I think we had a puncher last night, didn't we? Yeah, we had. I think we had that awful crash at the top of just before Casino Square, didn't we? As it was I was completely wrong at the top of the hill there. I thought that I think I said the Carton lost it, and someone drove into the back of him, or the other way around. Oh, and Dave hit the second part of the swimming pool there, and almost went into the place where Max Verstappen famously parked his car in 2016, and as coming through the final corner now, and Carton, he did have a puncture. Carton did, and as he now, and Dave going up into third position there. He did kiss the outside wall there of the swimming pool. Let's just take Matt's back in the pits 4 minutes ago. Then this is where it's really going to start to wind up now. Snap in the pits, and so is Roscoe. Roscoe very chill at the moment in the pit lane, isn't he? He's very relaxed, laid back. So it's a Carton. As Carton turned, he got a puncture and he just went flying. So I must admit, punctures on this game is quite brutal, isn't it? I feel that if you get a puncture on this game, especially on the opening lap, it's basically race over, isn't it? Really, your car is very slow anyway. As we're on board with Stio at the moment, as he's coming through the final couple of corners now. Of course, this is the return race, isn't it? He hasn't raced for a couple of races. Last time we seen Steve in a race. Was actually, I think, in Australia, so, and he got an 8th in Australia, I think. I don't know. No, he didn't get an 8th at all. Oh, I think that was his first time. He was in, and that was the first race called Steve, but he's been a bit busy, Steve has, but he's back in the car now in the Williams, and he is flying the flag for Williams at the moment, so, as a Double, unfortunately, will not be. Double who's been a great start to this season, hasn't he? He's been in Q3 for the majority of the races, and but I think Steve's turn to fly the flag for the Rocket Williams at the moment, and we're just coming to the tunnel now. I must admit, one of my favourite childhood memories was seeing the camera, which was next to the Monaco. It's basically in the tunnel, literally sat on the barrier, wasn't it? and watching those V10s go through that Monaco tunnel was absolutely breathtaking. It really was. Also, it was an awesome sight. Physico's retired from the session, so he thinks he's safe. Jonathan is still in the pits at the moment. He asked if he was safe. I did have a hazard guess that he was safe, but yeah, I'm not sure how confident that is. Snap is on the hard compound tires mode. Steve goes fastest on 11.7 there, so Steve will be safe as well. And he's on the soft compound tires, Steven. So he's remember, track position, as we found out yesterday, is a king around here. So you don't. So really, it doesn't really matter what strategy you're on, as long as you're in front of the driver, possibly. But yeah, it's honest, it's a balance tonight, because you still need a good bit of pace around here, don't you? Snap is out on track at the moment. We got a minute and a half to go in this second qualifying session at the moment. So it's getting. Oh, we got a car off, and I think I think Steve's just doing the Rosberg tactic. But unfortunately, I think he's a qualifying session too early. Yeah. Steve parking in the fair spot of Rosberg, just out of Mirabel there, and Snap then didn't face Snap at all, though, did it? He's flying through the tunnel in the Renault, and then coming down to the French chicane. And of course, those buildings have only recently been put up, haven't they, around there? Of course, we used to have a good camera shot as well, didn't we? As the cars bursting out of the tunnel there, it was a really long shot, wasn't it? From fantastic as well. Of course, I remember that shot quite well when Damon Hill broke down in '96. Of course, that absolutely weird and wonderful race. Snap that coming through the final corner, very close to the inside barrier there, but he judged that to perfection. DRS right on it straight away. He was on the marker there. What about Snap? Where does he go? He goes 9th at the moment, so he's still in a bit of danger there. Snap is. How much danger we're going to find out now, because unfortunately Penny's out and Double's out as well. Roscoe might be so it's between Roscoe, Wee John and Snap. I think everyone else should be alright. Matt is out on track at the moment as well. Is he going to complete his time, or is he happy with his 10th down? I think he might be happy. He is happy, so he's coming in the pit. So Snap is on the second lap now. Wee John is out there, and so is Roscoe. Roscoe on the medium compound tires, coming through the final turn now, and what does he do? He goes 4 fastest in the Red Bull, so that's Roscoe who's through, and Wee John I think is going to be 11th here because he's not on the pace. It's actually 7/10. He's 7 seconds down. Roscoe's retired from the session. I think that's it then, ladies and gentlemen. So in Q3, well, out of Q2, we have we've lost Penny, and we've also lost Wee John as well. Unfortunate for those guys. But yeah, don't worry, you'll see all those guys back in the race in just a few moments' time. Wow, about 13-14 minutes' time then. So just watching Snap come in the pits as well then. So Snap in the Q3, as is Asdog, as is Jonathan. Matt also is as well, as is Harry, Dave, Roscoe, Physico, not that bad, and Steve, who makes his return after a couple of races out. So fantastic qualifying session for Steve and the Williams. So we're just waiting for Snap to wheel back in the pits into his garage. Absolutely peaceful, isn't it, at the moment, which is unusual for Monaco. Usually, it's quite is very much a playground of the rich and famous, isn't it? Anyway. So into Q3 is Steve. He's on the soft compound tires. He will start the race on soft. Then we've got medium tires, so not that bad. Physica, Roscoe, Dave, Harry, and Matt. Hard tires for Jonathan, Asdog, and Snap. Keep an eye on those guys. They're going to be going very long into the first stint. And keep an eye on Steve as well. He's going to be lightning off the line. So yeah, it's very much a mixed bag, and that's what we like to see. Unfortunately, we ain't going to see Wee John or Penny in Q3. Look at all those yachts there. Absolutely fantastic. It's a different world, isn't it, Monaco is? So here we go then. We've got 12 minutes to decide who is going to be starting where in the top 10. Who's going to get on pole position in Monaco? Probably one of the most important qualifyings of the year, even though I think statistically, I'm sure that Spain is technically more important than Monaco, isn't it? But as we found out last week, anything can happen in any Grand Prix, and it usually does. And I think Spain last week demonstrated it's good to have a high grid position, but it's not essential, is it? And not everyone is very keen to go out at the moment. While we do have someone to go out, it is not that bad in the Mercedes. He comes flying out the pit, as I almost lost my voice already. Physical also as well. You can see them, so they're all out there very much ready to get going. And Penny said, can I say tactical? Qualifying isn't important here. Excellent stuff. Yeah, so Steve was definitely feeling about the long game here. There's no points in qualifying, and I think Steve knows that, doesn't he? He's more interested in the race as now we're coming up the hill now. And also we've got Asdog out there as well. Oh, Jonathan Cox, is he retired from the? He has retired from the session, hasn't he? Where's he gone? Is that Jonathan Cox there who just taking a look to see where he is? He's oh no, so Jonathan Cox, is he he said he was at yellow flag in sector 3. Where's he gone? We're just watching Dave, and Matt's also retired from the session as well. I'm wondering what's going on here. And oh no, I hope we haven't got a mass disconnect or anything. So yeah, that's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Oh, don't worry. Sorry, yeah. I've been reminded in the comments. Jonathan Cox has got a Q3 ban, and so has Matt. I read that at the beginning of qualifying, so yes. Don't worry, everyone. They're still here. They've just retired because they got a qualifying ban. Yeah, a Q3 qualifying ban. Yeah, thanks Penny as well. Anyway, as I recompose myself, not that bad. Has already recomposed himself and is ready to get going. Physical is out there at the moment as well. Snap, I think, is the first one to go be across the line. Look at him flying into the sand of what there and accelerating up the hill. As now coming into the casino square there and exiting now nicely then. And of course, there's another certain golden car pointing the wrong way around there, wasn't it, in '96? Of course, that was our famous one of our favourite commentators, Martin Brundle. He's certainly one of my favourite commentators. Him and Murray Walker, I think, was the best commentator duo on the television. I think my favourite years was definitely ITV '97 to 2001. Brilliant. Anyway, Snapman coming through the tunnel and flying up now. As and Penny said it's Murrayism. It was there, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. Awful, isn't it? Really, I should really yeah. Oh, and Penny, sorry, there's another Meekism there, and Snap has gone to the wall there, and he's unfortunately touched the outside, and he's damaged his end plate there. Is he going to? He's carrying on, so he's going to get his banker lap in and then go for broke in the second lap. Remember, everyone's going to be on the soft compound tires. Snap goes fast on the 13, not that bad into 11, so 11.9, so good stuff for him, from not that bad at the moment. Good stuff indeed. Remember, the track is just going to wrap up. Asdog in a 12.5 there in the car 22 there, of course, the famous orange helmet. And Roscoe also Roscoe's also he's gone faster. That is an incredible time there from Roscoe. 11.925, fantastic. That is 600ths of a second quicker than not that bad. You can't do a lot in 600ths of a second. And absolutely fantastic time indeed. Physical there, getting very close. Oh, that's a fantastic shot. And now Dave coming through the final corner now. He's got run out of deployment now, Dave has, but he's flying Physical. There's a yellow flag there. Dave goes fastest. He's on pole position at 11.5 for Dave. It's a Red Bull 1-2. No, then, because Physical is now just snuck in between them. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Got a yellow flag there. Oh, but Steve, what's he going to go? So he goes second fastest. This is fantastic. Look at that. 11.5, 11.6, 11.7, and 11.9, and 11.9. Brilliant stuff. That's dog on a 12.5, and Harry and Snap on a 13.6. Harry's out of the pits now. He's on a lap at the moment. And so the top 8 is going for it, isn't they? Fantastic time from Dave, fantastic time from Steve, fantastic time from Physico and Roscoe, and not that bad. And I think Asdog he's definitely got another chance, and I think so is Snap as well. Remember, we was watching Snap when he tapped the outside wall there. Harry's going a bit deeper there into the Lowe's hairpin. That shouldn't do too much disservice to his time now. Coming and out of Portier then, and now into the tunnel then. And what's he doing then? So we'll find out now. 6 minutes to go then. So you can see that we're now ramping up to the race then, which is coming up momentarily then. And you can see that's the place where it's going to be very pivotal, where you're going to get penalties and stuff. and probably even the even around the section here out to back, then swimming pool section, accelerating a while. Look like he just jumped through the swimming pool there. Fantastic stuff. As now coming in, I think this is, I'm sure this is Raska, so I must admit I've got a bit of brain fade tonight, which is nothing unusual. Harry then coming across the line. What's he going to do? He's done a 13 at the moment, and he's 7th at the moment. So a 13-1 for Harry in the McLaren. But that is definitely going to be he's definitely within a chance, isn't he? Roscoe is just coming back to the pits moment. He's 4th. Who would have thought Roscoe would be 4th on a 19 on an 11.9. Absolutely fantastic stuff, isn't it? Brilliant pace in this qualifying session. That's absolutely fantastic. You could say the track has ramped up, or you could say that these drivers have really stepped up. Not that bad is out fairly early. I wonder if he's got 3 sets of soft tires remaining for him to have like 3 runs out here. That's very bold, isn't it? From Not That Bad. So we're just watching Not That Bad. It's a lovely shot here, isn't it? And of course you can see right up in the sky with the skyscrapers then, and coming down the going into the tunnel there. Jonathan Cox just said great lap by Dave. Absolutely fantastic lap by Dave. It's a fantastic lap by all 5 of the drivers at the moment. Brilliant stuff. Asdog at the moment is about 6/10 of a second back, and then a first 6/10 of a second. Well, yeah, first 6/10 of a second back is Harry, and Snap is over 4/10 of a second back at the moment. So then 5 minutes to go. Then we got outlaps of Physica. We got outlaps for Not That Bad. They're out there early to avoid the traffic, but maybe they might get caught up in the traffic as well. Just watching then the Mercedes then of Not That Bad. Then he accelerates away. Now coming up into Sandervoort then is you can see taking a lovely. That was absolutely perfect, wasn't it? That is where he wanted to aim the car, and that is exactly what he's done there. And you can see then just this coming a very frustrating corner, can it? Now through Casino Square, now coming down into Mirabel, and there's a bump, isn't there? So you got the car has to kind of go into the middle of the track there, and now coming into the Lowe's hairpin. I think it's the slowest corner on the Formula 1 Championship calendar. Car 2 is very closely outside there, and now coming down to Portier. Now of course Portier there is just, you want to get a good run out of here because you're coming into the tunnel now and accelerating away then. Brilliant. Of course we've had a couple of incidents in the tunnel, haven't we? I think Alonso and Ralph Schumacher, was it? I think it was Ralph. Possibly. I remember just Alonso giving him a salute, a middle finger salute, I think, wasn't it, or something like that, when he was still crashing. Anyway, Not That Bad then. It's coming through the final sector now. What is he doing then? Physicals aren't on that for the moment. We've also got Snap on that. Everyone else in the pits. Not That Bad is abandoning it and come back in then. So just teasing us out there. Physical is 8,000 of a second at the moment. Physical on a great championship so far. He's on 36 points at the moment. He is 4th in the Drivers' Championship. Car 14 at the moment. Of course, who's adopted the famous number that Fernando Alonso had on his car between 2014 and 18. Now coming down into the C400 chicane then, and again that is precision. That is absolute precision there from Physico. And look at this, he's running out of ERS though. He's not going to have much ERS left, is he, to deploy? And now coming through to the swimming pool there. He's 700 a second off. I'm wondering if this is just a banker lap as well. And I'm wondering, did he cut the corner there? I don't think so, because he looks like he's carrying on. Absolutely flying. Physico is now coming into anti-nose, coming out there. Oh, right on the curve there. Of course, the curve is quite steep, so that might have had to get out. And he goes 200 of a second quicker and really creeping up. Look at that. It's now 400 of a second between himself and Stio. Absolutely fantastic. And this is getting very good as well. What about the second runner now? Snap! Oh, that's an end plate gone for Snap. Coming out of Portier, then I'll say, oh dear. So, Snap has hit the barrier again then in the Renault, and I think that's both end plates gone off. So he cuts the corner of the C-French chicane, and he's just going to carry on now. Of course, coming into Tabac. You don't want to go through Tabac full throttle with a bit of front wing missing, or a lot of front wing missing there for Snap there. And also cutting the corner as well, going over the sleeping policeman, and he is now come back into the pits. Harry is now starting a lap at the moment. We got one of the Red Bulls out on track. I think we got both Red Bulls out on track at the moment. We've got a yellow flag floating about there as well. Harry's going up for a second run fairly early, so he's going for more of attack. He's going for attack, isn't he? And Steve Physico is just cruising back to the pits, and you can see he's got a lot of traffic out at the moment. Snap is out of qualifying, unfortunately. So it's now down to 7 cars then, as we come into the final stage of this qualifying session now. again, I'm loving this shot. I really am. Over the just by the just I think it's just in front of the rear. Look at all the traffic. Absolutely amazing stuff, isn't it? It's like London. It's like a London morning, isn't it? And now Harry coming from the seafront chicane, and very nicely done there. These drivers are absolutely fantastic. How pinpoint they are, aren't they? With not getting corner cuts and things like that, and giving to back a lot of respect there. Harry was at 1.3 seconds in front at the moment in the McLaren as he's coming around the final couple of corners now into Raskas. As they've also straightened up Raskas, haven't they? He used to be a lot tighter than that. The entry into 90 nodes there, not taking as much curb as Physico, and he accelerates away. That's a great time. He's on pole position. Look at that, fantastic. Harry's on pole position at the moment. No, Steve has just started his lap at the moment as well. Physico is also on an outlap. Well, not that bad. He's on a quick lap now. So here we go then. Not that bad. I think we're the first one to cross the line, I believe. Yeah, because Dave is still on an outlap now. So Dave will be the last one to cross the line. Asdog's also on an outlap. No, it won't be Dave. It'll be Asdog will be the last one across the line. Well, not that bad then. He's down in 6th position at the moment, isn't it? That's not a very good place to be. I know he's a talented driver, isn't he? Not that bad is. But he can't. If he's going to be 6th position, it's going to be a difficult place, isn't it, to win from there? But again, Spain, he showed some real talent, didn't he? He's coming into Raskas now for the final time then. As Carton is chanting, come on Harry, as he's on pole at the moment. It's anyone's ball game, coming across the line, and that's fastest still, not that bad, takes pole position by 0.2 of a second then. Fantastic. Harry is going for it again, he's the second off of Dave is on an outlet. Steve is coming through the final couple of quarters then. So who's going to be first then? I've almost swallowed my tongue again. This is getting too much. And DRS is enabled then. He's coming across the line. What's he going to do? Steve goes faster still. Steve's on pole position. Look at that. That is incredible. Fantastic stuff. Absolutely brilliant. Who's next? Roscoe. I think he's only 6th there. I might be disappointed with that, Roscoe. Dave is coming across the line now. Steve is on pole position on that. So but Dave goes third. Fantastic. So Dave is on the third at the moment. And now finally it's Asdog then. I think not that bad. It's still out there. You can do another lap. I'm going to just keep an eye on Asdog. But on Asdog, he's fastest. Asdog's on pole position. Brilliant. And Asdog snatches pole position away from the returning Steve. Fantastic stuff. Absolutely fantastic. What about not that bad? Oh, he's 3 seconds down then. Whoa. Blimey. Wow, what a pole position there from Asdog there. I really thought that Harry there really put the gauntlet down, didn't he, in the final stages of his qualifying session, and put it on pole position. But then Dave come through, snatched it away from him, and then not that bad. Then Steve, and then Asdog. That is a great grid, isn't it? If you want to line them up, in terms of how this race is going to be action packed, that's the way you would have done it. Asdog is on pole position, and I think that's his third pole position of the season. Fantastic stuff. As is a car in. I think it's a bit disappointed that Harry's not on pole position, but that was an amazing effort from Harry towards the end then. But Asdog is on pole position once again. He's really shown his one lap pace, isn't he? Absolutely fantastic stuff. And Carton is just a great qualifying, absolutely fantastic qualifying. Let's just quickly go through the gaps then. Asdog by 1/10 of a second from Steve. And then it's not that bad, also a 10th of a second. Look how close the front three were, fantastic. Dave in 4th position on the second row of the grid. We've got Harry in 5th. And Physico in 6th position. And then we got Roscoe in 7th. I think he must have made a mistake on his final lap. And Snap in 8th position. And so I think Snap only got one run in. And of course Jonathan Cox 9th, and Matt is in 10th position. They both had a Q3 bands then, as we're now going to get into the race then. So we've got 15 drivers then to negotiate negotiate this race. This is going to be fantastic, isn't it? You can see there's the pit lane at the moment, and it's all empty because all the cars are out on track. They're on the other side of that pit building, and at the moment then they're going to be just looking at their strategies. What can they do, and what are they going to? Of course, from 11th down to 15th gets a free choice of tyres. So what tyres are they going to start on? It's going to be very interesting to see what strategies they're going to adopt. And watch Steve at the beginning. He's on the soft compound tyre, so he's going to get a good launch. But remember, I think this is probably from the the start line to turn 1, I think it's the shortest distance, isn't it? So Steve needs to be absolutely flying there. And we do have 16 drivers. I can't remember seeing Claude come back in, but we'll go through that in a minute. So then, let's go through the order then. So pole position is Asdog. He's in the best spot that you can be on in the Monaco Grand Prix. He's on pole position on the hard tyres, soft tyres for Steve. Remember, we were just talking about that, wasn't he? He could get an expert launch. Not that bad. The championship leader is third. Did a good job, didn't he, to get himself back up in the third? They're fantastic. Dave is in a fourth position, doing his usual tactics on the formation lap at the moment of holding him up. Harry's having none of that. He is in fifth at the moment on the medium compound tyres. We got Physico is in sixth position, but he has decided not to even do a formation lap, so he's on the medium tyres at the moment. Roscoe is in seventh position, and equally as slow as his teammate on the formation lap. Eighth position is Snap. As we got Dave also on the grid as well. So Dave, unfortunately, is I think come to blows with McLaren. So Snap is also, he's on the hard command tyres. Jonathan Cox is ninth at the moment. As this might be one of the slowest formation laps you'll see. Matt is in 10th position. He's also on the grid. He's on the medium command tyres. John is in 11th position on the medium tyres. We've got Penny is in 12th position. Great camera shot there. 13th position is Double. So we've almost got half the grid on the cars on the grid. Timmy is in 14th position. Energy Dan is in 15th position. And Claude is in the pit. So I don't think Claude is starting this race as Asdog comes around then. So this race is probably on average the slowest speed average of the season, and I don't think the formation lap is as slow as the Spanish formation lap. As Jonathan Cox really not in any rush, is he, to get on the start grid, is he? I think he's the last man to line up then. Here we go then. So as you can see, there's car 25 and of course sporting the famous red and green helmet now, Jonathan Cox is. But we're about to get ready to go racing here in the Monaco Grand Prix, and just watching Energy Dan then. So this is the back of the grid. We don't really want to see the back of the grid, do we? We want to see the front. Well, to be honest, I want to see all the grid. As just getting a good camera shot here. Hopefully we got, look at that, 39 laps around here. Yellow flags are waving, don't worry about that, because here we go. We got 2 lights, we got 3 lights, we got 4 lights, we got 5 lights, and when we go out we'll be racing in Monaco, and we are go! And it's a it's a good start there from Asdog, a very good start there. Oh, and Steve there coming across there, but Asdog leads. Then we got Steve, then we got Not That Bad, we got Jonathan Cox, we're fighting with Physico at the moment, and we've got a yellow flag because that's a McLaren off in the background. That's Penny off in the background. Is he damaged his front wing? I don't know. Claude is up in the 15th somehow. I can't even see Claude. And look at this. There's Timmy up in the 12th position at the moment. Then we've got a bit of a queue of cars here at the moment. As Matt is 9th position. Oh no, Jonathan Cox is gaining on Physico. Physico is 7th at the moment. Ross is 5th. We've got a yellow flag in 2. We've got a yellow flag in 2. What's going on in 2? Taking a quick look as just seeing what's going on. Look at that, they're all coming through the hairpin at the moment. Look at it, it's Lionel Stern at the moment. It'd be Hero Zero stuff at the moment. I'm trying to work out what that yellow flag is, but it's gone now. Steve there just unfortunately dropped down 3 positions, but got a Ferrari of Energy down. It's lost a bit of his end plate there. Snap is in 11th position. John is in 10th at the moment. In the oh my gosh, I thought he went to the back there of Matt there, and almost. And we've also got Snap there as well. He's got a 5-second penalty to Snap. That's a bit harsh. I'm sure he slowed down enough. Jonathan Cox there is just behind Physico at the moment. Then we've got Roscoe. He's got a 10-second penalty there, and Energy Dan is out of the race there, and I thought we seen a bit of contact there, and Energy Dan is out of the race, and so he's the first one. Steve's in the pits, and Not The Bad's in the pits, and Steve and Not The Bad's in the pits, so we got problems already for the championship leader and for the front row, and for the man on the front row as well. So oh dear, this is not very good at all then. So Snap's in the pits as well, and Timmy is also, oh no, Mercedes is at the queue. So Not That Bad is coming out of the pits now. Steve is coming out of the pits, and he's in front of Not That Bad. As Snap is in the pits, and so he is coming out of the pits now as well, as is Timmy. These guys are going to need safety cars then. And Claude is joined now, but unfortunately I think he's a bit late, and a day late and $1 short. Asdog, he's got a good old lead at the moment, hasn't he? Fantastic, 4 seconds. Harry's in 2nd position. He's shown good pace here. Dave is in 3rd position. He's holding up his teammate, Roscoe in 4th position. Jonathan Cox is up at the 5th now, but all over the back of him is Physico. Lovely shot here. Energy down in 7th position. Matt is in 7th position. Got Wee John in 8th. Double in 9th. 10th position is Petty. Steve is in 11th and 12th position. Not that bad. There's a long way to go now. Snap and Timmy in 13th and 14th, and Claude then is not in the race. Asdog there flying at the moment then, so I think that the interesting battle here is going between Jonathan Coxon. We're on board with him now at the moment in the Ferrari. He's right up the gearbox of Roscoe at the moment. As they're coming through Rascats now, look in the background now, there's a yellow car. Now you also see a blue car as well, and of Matt, who's in 7th position at the moment. And you can see, look at this, DRS will be enabled now. He's got fast lap for Harry. He's really got a bit between his teeth now, hasn't he? Of course, it's on the medium compound tire. So DRS is now enabled at the end of this lap. Then coming up the hill, then look at this, and we're going to have a good old battle, haven't we now? These guys are absolutely nose to tail at the moment. And of course, so Dave in a good position at the moment in the Red Bulls. Red Bulls are 3rd and 4th at the moment, so very strong team they got this season. The Red Bulls have, and I feel especially it's going into the latter part of the season, that's really going to pay dividends. Jonathan Cox got a 3-second penalty for going on the curb there, and that's really getting a bit squirmy there as well, isn't it? Coming out of Portier now, he's turning and a Claude's left the session there. So yeah, I think Claude unfortunately didn't make the start because he didn't join in time, so that's unfortunate for Claude. As now they're coming down into the C French game. Jonathan's gone wide. He's gone wide. He's got a 3-second. No, that's Matt has got a 3-second penalty there. So Jonathan there, unfortunately going wide there and lose a bit of momentum there, but he didn't lose too much. Oh, Physico is in the wall. He's in the wall, and Matt's collected the debris there. And you can see the backing got very happy. He got very tail happy there, and he's going out. Oh, Matt there, almost coming into the back of him. He's in the pits. Remember, this is a very easy place to get. Not that bad. Sorry, David's flying there, and also in the pits is Wee John. This is going to help double, isn't it? As you can see, then this is going to be a very tough afternoon for not that bad, isn't it? At the moment, so Asdog is still leading by 1 point. Harry's flying out there, absolutely flying. Not that bad. So double up into 7th position at the moment. Is Steve up into 8th position as well. Steve. So not bad, it's back in the points. So Physico coming out of the pits now. He's on the hard compound tyre. Wee John is on the soft compound tyres. And Snap and Timmy fighting in 13th and 14th position. Yeah, Harry's flying out there at the moment. Now we've got Roscoe. And we've also got Jonathan now battling. Those to tell Timmy's got fast up the race. And we got Wee John in. And Snap is now through and up into is in front of Wee John. Wee John's on the soft compound tyre in the Haas at the moment. Snap is on the medium compound tyre. Timmy's got the fast lap of the race, but at the moment that doesn't mean much in terms of points, because you need to be in the top 10 to get the point, which is really mad. Oh, I think Roscoe's gone into the wall, hasn't he? I think he has. He's damaged his front wing now, Roscoe has. And oh dear, now he's all over the back of him is Jonathan Cox, and so there's the front guys are having troubles here, and it's Roscoe coming in the pits. He has to, doesn't he? Oh, that's a shame for Roscoe, isn't it? Of course, he was quite high up the field, so Jonathan Cox is up the 4th. Matt is now 5th. Remember, both these sides had a qualifying bad, didn't they? Roscoe, where's he going to come out of the pits then? Red Bull are just sorting out the car then. Where is he going to come out? Double is coming around, and you can see we've got a bit of a queue form behind Double at the moment then in the Monaco Grand Prix. So that's traditional, isn't it? So this is going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? Where is Roscoe coming out? He's behind, not that bad. He should be. Oh, this is going to be close between himself and Physico. There's Roscoe. And he's coming out of the pits now, and Roscoe is just in front of Physico. And what about Timmy? He's in front of Wee John, because Wee John is back in the pits at the moment. So Wee John is back in the pits, and I'm not sure what that's in there, but I think Physico was having a go, wasn't he? Good stuff indeed. Look at him, he's all over the back of Roscoe, isn't he? As he's just trying to get by as quickly as possible. Not that bad. Then look at this, we've got a good old queue behind Double at the moment. Matt is all over the back of Jonathan as well. This is fantastic. This is really good there. We've got a bit of a train then for him behind Double at the moment. And of course, so this is the story of Monaco, really, isn't it? Oh, this is brilliant, absolutely fantastic. As you probably know, I really enjoy this shot. Absolutely quality camera work here. And you can see Roscoe is 5 seconds away from not that bad at the moment, but he will be. I think he will be catching on these guys fairly quickly. Roscoe is on the hard compound tyre, as is Physico as well. So how long is the hard compound tyre going to last? That's the question. We've had a bit of contact there. I think it was I think that was Penny, who's gone to the back of his former Sauber teammate of Double. And I think I'm sure it was a McLaren wing. As you can see then, the gal coming up the hill. Oh, maybe it wasn't. I don't think there's any debris. I don't think there's anything hanging off that McLaren wing actually. So maybe I just dreamt that there. And a lovely shot here on board the Williams at the moment. Just taking a look at the gaps at the moment. Harry is now down to a second behind Asdog. So, but then 2 seconds back, and I thought he was going to have a lunge there, Steve, at the moment. as this is going to get fascinating indeed. Roscoe's still over the back of Physico's still over the back of Roscoe. Timmy's in front of Snap. Where did he overtake him there? Fantastic. Was that in the casino square? Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Just having a quick look up and down the field. Matt is still all over the back of Jonathan at the moment. That's 8/10 of a second back. Jonathan's got no penalty at the moment, so those penalties might come into play in the late towards the end of this race. Remember, because at the moment they're all bunched up at the moment. They're going to stay bunched up in the next 32 laps. I doubt it's going to be exactly the same as they are at the moment. There's a lot more race then still to go, and you can see then the car getting very can get very light around the swimming pool section, kind of now into as they come into Rascasse. And as you can see, lovely aerial shots here at the moment. Penny is starting to lose ground on double now, isn't he, in the McLaren? He is still within DRS, right? He's still in DRSS, but at the moment Steve's going to have a look, is he? No way he's going to have a look, is he? No, not quite, into Sandoval. And now Double is now starting to get the bit between his teeth, and the style is starting to extend the gap. Roscoe's now 3 seconds back from this battle here, and of course Physico there as well. And remember, Timmy is also is 7 seconds behind Physico as well. So this is going to get very interesting very quickly in this race, isn't it? Fantastic stuff. Matt is really starting to put the hammer down, hasn't he? Look at this, he's all over the back of Jonathan at the moment in the battle for fourth position. Jonathan on the hard command tires, Matt on the medium. Matt wants to get by as quickly as possible. I wonder if he's oh, yellow flag. Penny is in the wall. He's in the wall at Poirier. He is facing the wrong way. Is he out? No, he's still going. He's just trying to find a good space. I think he's looking on the map. So very good stuff from Penny, just trying to get the car around, and he's in the wall. And that's a big blow. And we've also got Double is in the wall as well. I think he's gone into the wall. He's damaged his car. As I don't think actually he's lost the position to Castillo, and they're not that bad. I wonder if he just went wide there. Oh, Roscoe having a good old lunge there at the moment. We've got all action at the moment here at the Monaco Grand Prix as they come through to complete lap. I don't know if Double's damaged or if he just oh, Charles, I don't really know. I wonder if he just went wide there. Look at this, Matt and Jonathan all over the back of Jonathan at the moment. And it's the battle for 4th and 5th at the moment. We've also got some great battles between Not That Bad and Steve. Double is Roscoe's now all over the back of Double as well. So it's very difficult to pick who we're going to watch. So yeah, this is going to be fascinating stuff. On board then with Physico, who's chasing down Roscoe, Roscoe's chasing down Double. Sorry. So you can see then. Look how slow they are. Remember, this track is very good for does create a lot of field spread at the moment. Penny is in the pits then for McLaren, and Double is I think I wonder if he just let him by. Actually, I think that's what he might have done before. So Double is on his own race, and Jonathan Cox is in the pits. That's why. So Jonathan Cox is in the pits. Why is he in the pits? Has he got this is a pretty poor angle we got on I think he's damaged his front wing. Jonathan has. Yellow flag in 1. What's going on in 1? Just taking a quick look. Oh, and that's Steve Penny just getting on the way there. So yeah, this is going to be a very hard race from now on for Penny. Physical all over the back of Roscoe, and Not That Bad is all over the back. Oh, this is going to be very close, isn't it? No, then it's Jonathan Cox has now dropped down to the 7th position. Roscoe is 8th, Physico 9th. Double then I think is doing a very tactical race here, isn't he? And he's just let the guys in front of him through, as he wants to drive his own race. John's got a 3-second penalty out there at the moment. He is in the Haas, and we've got Penny, who is also trying to recover after that spin at Portier. So at the moment, Asdog is leading by 2.6 seconds from Harry, who's second. Good drive from Harry at the moment. Fantastic stuff. Oh, getting a bit. And look at Dave. How close was he there to the wall there? And has he lost an end plate? He has lost an end plate. Dave has. I wonder if that was why he was too close to the wall. And Matt is really homing in on him quickly. As Dave coming in the pit, he is staying out at the moment in the Red Bull, but Matt is going to be all over the back of him fairly quickly. And there's a 19-second gap between Dave and Stillo at the moment. Between Matt and Stillo in 5th and 6th position. Not that bad. Then we've got Jonathan Cox there, who's come back on track now. He's behind it. Not that bad. He's going to have he's going to be quicker. And we're on board with Timmy at the moment, who is behind Double on track at the moment as he's on the soft compound tire as it stands. And so I think that look how close he is. As Not That Bad as a weave in for some reason. As Jonathan Cox was very close to the back of him. I'm wondering why Not That Bad was weaving there. But yeah, very close indeed as they come up the hill then. And now it's now over the crest of it, come down to Casino Square. Jonathan Cox is on the fresher tires. He wants to get by as quickly as possible. Doesn't want to be stuck behind the harder shod tire of Not That Bad too long. Does he? As you can see, got a couple of blue flags floating out there at the moment. Trying to work out what it's for. As now Matt is he's still second back at the vote. I didn't look at the one now. I just in the point one. As at the moment, Steve is now starting to pull away from Not That Bad. So Steve has got genuine pace around here. Remember, he qualified on the front row, didn't he? Alongside Asdog at the moment. Remember, Asdog has only won one race in his career, which was a great race in China. Yeah, this is going. Remember what the legends say about this track. It's like worth half a championship, isn't it? And look at Jonathan; he is really hustling that Mercedes at the moment in front of him. At the moment, and as the other Mercedes is also being hustled as well. Matt is really now starting to put the hammer down on Dave as well. So we got a couple of decent battles out there at the moment. The undercut can be very powerful around here as well, can it? So yeah, and remember, track position is king, isn't it? So who is going to roll the dice first? Who's going to come in the pits? I think Jonathan Cox, has he got damage to that front end plate there? I'm thinking he has, but it's not distracting him too much at the moment. Roscoe is 4 seconds back on the hard compound tires as well. If Jonathan going to be able to get to the end on these medium compound tires, they're going to be very warm towards the end, and they on Jonathan's car. And you can see just in front there is Steve at the moment. Now I'm trying to work out. There's a blue flag that keeps flashing on the LED boards. I don't think that well, it wasn't there. I don't think it's just I think it's just a glitch at the hairpin there. So you can see then Not That Bad then is still in 6th position as it stands at the moment. Jonathan Cox now is now feel that his best opportunity was definitely look at how much more pace he's got compared to that Mercedes. So remember that they own two different tire compounds at the moment. Absolutely brilliant camera work here at the moment. Fantastic. As you can see, there's the pit lane there. As at the moment, no one's coming in at the moment. Asdog has got the advantage on the hard compound tire. The question is though, what is that? Yellow flag in 2. Yellow flag in 2. What's going on in 2? Just taking a quick. Oh, and we John, they're coming out of the pits. As oof, blimey. As now Matt was all over the back then, and Steve is in 5th. Not That Bad 6th. Jonathan Cox 7th. 8th is Roscoe. 9th is Fisico. 10th is Double. Timmy is in the pits then, so he's got damage. Timmy has, so he's in the pits. Snap is in the pits as well. So we've got a couple of cars coming in the pits. We John there just coming out in front. And what about Penny then? Penny is unfortunately all the way back, but remember this is a race of if there's a race where you shouldn't give up, this is the race to be involved in, isn't it? Not That Bad has really started to put the hammer down, hasn't he? Now he is close. Car 2, Not That Bad was. I think he's changed number. He didn't used to be Car 2. Didn't he used to be 85 or something? Anyway, Not That Bad then is now starting to really put pressure on Steve at the moment, who is in 5th position. Jonathan Cox is right behind him as well. And then we see Roscoe, who's dropping back slightly now from this battle here. It was 4 seconds. It's now 4.8. So he's lost about 0.8 of a second in the last lap of the 2. Matt is the first one in the pits, so he's in the pits. He's rolled the dice. Where is he going to come out of the pits? He that's a slow pit stop, and that might cost him. He's coming out. Where's he going to come out of the pits? He's coming out of the pits now. He's going to be behind these guys. He's going to be behind Jonathan Cox in Co. And look at them all getting 3 second penalties there. And there's Matt. No, Matt is out of the pits now, just in front of Wee John at the moment. As there's all sorts going on out there. Fantastic stuff. Now, so Matt is on the hard compound tires, so he should be going to the end of the race. So he is behind at this battle here, this battling group at the moment. And I wonder if he might be a bit disappointed with that then. Yellow flag in 2. What's going on in 2? Just taking a quick. Oh, that's Wee John, who's gone straight on at Mirabel there in the Haas. Remember, you just got to keep going out. This is a very frustrating race. It's just watching one of the McLarens, I think. It's just trying to get by double at the moment. And you can see we just rejoined this battle here at the moment. As Jonathan, did he hit the wall there? I think he might have ricocheted off, but he's still going on. Just on board. How's the car looking? It's not looking too bad. It's looking all right at the moment. And Harry's now 3.4 seconds behind. Harry and Hasdall doing a fantastic job. Dave in 3rd position, doing a phenomenal job as well. He is 19 seconds in front, and that is almost a pit stop. But he is dropping off, isn't he? So I'm wondering if I wonder what Dave's going to do at the moment. He's on the medium compound tires, isn't he? And of course, I feel that these guys here are probably going to the end of the race. Is Jonathan going to be able to go to the end of the race as well? So I'm not sure if he will be able to from there. And Wee John is out of the race, and just taking a look to see where he is. As just on board now, I think it might be at the swimming pool. Just on board the leader, Asdog, who we haven't seen much of Asdog. I wonder if it was on the pit straight actually. But yeah, unfortunately, Wee John is out of the race, and not that. But now as this is the battle for fourth position at the moment. Timmy's made the fast up the race. He's just 12 seconds out of the points at the moment. Timmy is. As not that bad then is once he's still in DRS 7 at the moment. But remember, Steve CEO has got the advantage. There's Matt in the background as well. This is going to be fantastic. Oh, and Physico's in front of Roscoe. Roscoe has had a trip on board the Red Bull, and he's also got a 3-second penalty as well. Roscoe has. He has damaged that end plate. Wee John's stuff for session. He has badly damaged that end plate as well, hasn't he? Oh, and that's oversteer as well. And he's damaged the car more. And Roscoe is going to have another trip to the pits then, so that's an unscheduled stop there. Look at Jonathan Cox. Jonathan Cox is all over the back of him. Not that bad as though it's going into the middle of the track there, because good defense, of course. He's just got to park his car in the middle of the track here, don't you? And don't have to do much more than that really, as long as you oh, Jonathan Cox are getting very, very feisty, isn't he, up the hill? And now coming into the Casino Square, coming down into Mirabel. I'm sure that Ferrari's got damage. Yeah, he has got damage, but Jonathan Cox is doing very well to drive around the damage at the moment, isn't he? And you can see now Matt's behind him as well. Look at this. This is now a 4-car battle. 8 seconds back is Physical at the moment. Roscoe is coming out of the pits. Double is out of the pits as well. But Timmy is now in the points then. But Roscoe is... Oh, this is going to be very close. And look how close that was then. So just out behind Timmy is Roscoe at the moment. But luckily for Roscoe is that Timmy has just stopped, so his tyres will be quite fresh. Double doing a very good job there in 9th position at the moment, just calmly going about his business. And well, these guys are doing anything but being calm about their business, isn't it? And I think Jonathan has also touched the other wall now, because he's lost 2 end plates on that Ferrari. So that Ferrari isn't going to be handling, and he's in the pits then, so Jonathan is in the pits. And I'm wondering what tyre he's going to go on, as Double is also in. Double is dropping down there. I'm wondering if he's just trying to get out of the way of Roscoe at the moment. So as you see, we're now on board with Roscoe at the moment. He is in 10th position at the moment, behind Timmy. And there is Double in the background. Jonathan is in and out. Oh, Fizzico's in the pits. Right, he's on the soft compound tyres. Jonathan should stay out in 7th position, so he will not get held up now, Jonathan. So he should go to the end of the race. Then that's the question. The gap between Dave and Steve is now down. Oh, we got a yellow flag somewhere. What's going on? Just taking a quick look out, and oh, and a Snap! He's lost the front wing now. Snap has, and he's going to have to come in the pits as well. He was gaining on Double. It's under 6 seconds, so he's going to have to come back in the pits for Snap. Unfortunate for him. Now accelerating away and coming up the hill then, and as you can see then in the front, I think that's one of the lap cars. Then we're on board with Roscoe at the moment, as he is gaining on. He is behind Timmy at the moment. The battle for the 9th and 10th at the moment. Timmy will have 3 points because he's got the fast lap as well. That in front of us is Physico, is it? It is Physico. So yeah, Physico is only a second in front end of this battle here, but he's just put on the soft compound tyre, so he's going to be quite quick in this stage of the race. Anyway, back to the battle for between Steve, not that bad, and Matt. This could be a battle all the way through then. Keep an eye, as there is a car coming out of the pits then. I think that was a lap runner. It was Snap who was just coming out of the pits then, and he's fed out behind you, so nicely done there. Timmy's got the fast up, sorry, not fast up, he's got the time penalty at the moment. So keep an eye on Jonathan Cox. He's 23.5 seconds back. Can he make up the time before the end of the race? We've still got a long way to go in this race. There's a lot of laps around here. Dave is now, the gap between Dave and Stio is down to 16 seconds. I wonder if Dave is following Vanquish's strategy and go to the soft compound tyre until the end. And they're doing a good job out there, but unfortunately Dave is dropping back through and through. He's getting into the clutches of these guys here. It was 19 seconds, wasn't it? And there's a lot of front wing there, wasn't it? And oh, we got a yellow flag in one. Just taking, let's see what's going on. That's that Penny just recovering. I think it might be. So yeah, it's a 3-second penalty as well. Then at the moment, Jonathan Cox and Matt is through, and he's up. He's in front. Oh, not that bad. He's in the wall. He's damaged his front wing. That's a lot of damage for not that bad. And not that bad. It's going to have to come into the pits. That's the championship leader. And It's going to be touch and go if he gets out front, Jonathan. So not that bad. He's in the pits, and what tyre is he going to go on with? 19 to go. We got double in the pits as well on the Williams. Oh dear. So the question, I think he should. It's going to be touch and go, isn't it? But I think he should be all right. Actually, he should get out with a couple of seconds spare over Jonathan. So not that bad. Then he's on the medium compound tyre as well. Then going to the end of the race now, I believe. And double coming out the pits as well. He's on the soft compound tyre, double. So going for a very attackive stint here. And I'm wrong, and I'm usually wrong. So not Jonathan Cox is actually a couple of seconds in front of not that bad. Not that bad. It's dropped down to his 7th position at the moment. Physico is 8th. Timmy is 9th. Roscoe is dropped back at the moment. He's in 10th position at the moment. Snap 11th. Double just coming out the pits in 12th and 13th. And and Matt's through, and I'm in the 4th position. So we're missing all the overtakes here because I think that I'm not sure if there's been an issue or what, but Steve is I think he damaged his front wing. I'm not sure. I don't think he has he? He's lost 2 seconds in that second sector. Steve has, but yeah, it's going a bit haywire at the moment, isn't it? So that train is now just gone down to 1 car. And Steve's in the pits. I think he has damaged his front wing because this is an unscheduled stop. So this is now working into nicely into Jonathan Cox's hands, isn't he? He's now going to be back up to 5th. Matt is now 17 seconds behind Dave. Dave is doing a good job, isn't he? He's going to be on much fresher tyres towards in this race. I wonder if they're all going to. Got a yellow flag out there. Just taking a quick look to see where it is. It's all right. It's I think it's Snap who's. Not Jonathan Cox is out in 5th position, 6th position is not that bad. So Steve is coming out in 7th position. He's on the soft compound tyres. Yellow flagging free, and seeing there's yellow flags flying around everywhere at the moment, isn't there? And look at that. I think that was a Mercedes there, and it is a Mercedes there. As really all over the back of Physico at the moment in the battle for 8th and 9th at the moment. Good driving at the moment from Physico, but. Sean, it's a very difficult race, isn't it? This is we're going to keep an eye on, see what's going on. Of course, not that bad. It's now going to be on, and Harry is in the pits then. So that's our leader. So he has initiated the undercut. Asdog got a couple of seconds to respond to this. So Harry's on the hard compound tyre now. He's got 19 laps to get to the end now. So what is Asdog going to do? Is he going to respond to that? Is he going to come into the pits now? That is going to be the $1 million question now. Matt is still 4th position at the moment. Jonathan 5th. Jonathan 5th, not a bad 60 is in 7th. 8th is Physico. 9th is Timmy, and 10th is Roscoe, who's just I think he's come back in the pits there. So yeah, it's been a very difficult day for a couple of the drivers, hasn't it? And you see, this is going very, very tasty, isn't it, towards the end of this race? Really, who is going to win this race? Who's going to do what at the moment? That is the question, isn't it? I'm, to be honest, I really don't know. I really haven't got the faintest. And to be honest, usually if I do think what's going to happen, that doesn't usually happen anyway. Anyway, Timmy is at the moment and on current 3 points at the moment. Those soft tyres might be starting to. Well, they shouldn't be going off just yet. So they've still got a bit of life left in the tyres there, as they got a yellow flag in 1 and 2. Just taking a look to see where it is. As Dave's in the pits. Dave is in the pits, so Dave is in the pits and full Red Bull. Where is he going to feed out then? So he's on the hard compound tyre going to the end. Asdog is staying out at the moment. Asdog is staying out. So the question is how long does Asdog stay out for? Is he going to come into the pits? Dave is already behind Matt, so Matt is now up into 3rd position. He's on the podium. Matt is. Jonathan Cox should get out in front of Dave here because there's a big old gap there. So Dave's doing a good job in 4th position. His best race of the season so far. I hope I haven't cursed him. So yes, I'm sure Dave's fans are really cheering him on there at the moment. He's 4th at the moment. Jonathan Cox is 5th. Not that bad. It's now under a second behind. Jonathan. These guys are just attached to each other like a string, aren't they? So Steve and not about Jonathan once again battling for position. Got Physico in 8th position, Timmy in 9th position, getting very close there. Snap is back in the pits. He's damaged his front wing again. So this is getting very. Oh, look how much more speed that Timmy's got at the moment compared to Asdog's in the pits. So yes, so he's in the pits now. Well, he's going to go onto the soft compound tyre. Where I'll look at that in a minute. And look at all Timmy's all over the back of Physico at the moment. Yeah, he's gone to the medium compound tyres. Asdog has. And yeah, so Asdog has survived the first stint. He has not got long to go. He's driving an absolutely perfect race because he's driving an absolutely perfect race. And to be fair, he is driving a perfect race because we haven't seen much of him. And oh, Harry is through. Harry is through and taking the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix. That is incredible. So and look at this. So Asdog, who looked in control, and Harry is just snuck in front of him. So he stayed out a bit too long. Remember, track position is king around here. So yeah, it's going to be very difficult now for Asdog to overtake Harry on this very notorious difficult track to overtake on. Matt is only a second back as well. Oh, should have Asdog come in a lap earlier? That is the question. That is wow, because Harry was absolutely flying. Timmy is through and he's up into that's a puncture. I think that we've missed the contact, and I think it is a puncture for Physico. And I'm wondering if the two come together because it was getting very feisty, wasn't it? And that's a big blow. And that's exactly what Carton said, didn't it? Carton did say that he reckons there's going to be a puncture in this race. And unfortunately, it's Physico who has got a puncture. That is a big blow for the Renault driver. Oh dear, that's such a shame there. And Harry now, he got a yellow flag into, I think it's, and then Physico has spun it, and he's got, and I think it's one of the Williamses of double he's got into. Physico is stuck in the middle of the track here at the moment. He's trying to get, is it Mirabeau, just trying to get himself out there, and there's a Renault, there's a Red Bull, and then Physico just trying to get himself, and that's Renault in behind him as well, of Snap just trying to get through. And of course it's very difficult to overtake. Steve is up into, another bud in the pits again. So Steve is through as well. So I'm sorry guys, we're missing all the action here tonight. Incredible stuff. It's not that bad. It's in the pits, and car 2, then the Mercedes is going to get out front of it. I've just hit the I've got so excited I've just hit the telemetry off. Timmy is now up into 7th position then, so not that bad. Where's it going to come out? We've got a yellow flag in 2. And I'm wondering if it's this is going to be very dangerous as well, isn't it? As he's in the tunnel, as Harry through, Asdog through, as Dave has got to just keep an eye out there at the moment. So as you can see then, and then now dropping Matt's now dropping back to a second lap. So Asdog there is going to have the tyre grip, the tyre life, but yeah, this is going to be very I'm wondering if Asdog is going to be regretting staying out there for a lap longer than he should have there. Dave is now 11 seconds away from Matt at the moment, and so Jonathan there's got to keep an eye out for the Renault driver just on board there. Oh blimey, it's getting very deadly in there. Oh look at this, and look, they're all over the back of each other going into turn 1 there, and Asdog's lost the front wing, and this is big trouble here for Asdog. And once again, we've missed the action here in Monaco. It's all going off at the moment. So Asdog has lost his front wing. I wonder if he went for a lunge into turn 1 and damaged his front wing. Oh, that is a big blow indeed, isn't it, for Asdog? Oh dear. And it's physical. Is Harry damaged as well? He's got wing damage there, but I think he might be able to stay out there. It's a lot of damage, but it's oh dear. This is it's getting very tense out of the run. Asdog, who was looking so good in this race, wasn't he? And and not that bad, is out of the race. He's out of the race. Where's he gone? I think he's gone straight on and stand the pot. So our championship leader, who has been absolutely phenomenal. Where's his car? He's gone off. He's gone right for the runoff area. So not that bad. He's had a miserable day today and is out of the race. And look at this. Asdog is just holding up, and not that bad is out. So Asdog is in the pits. Where's he going to come out? He's going to be behind Dave. Virtual safety car. So virtual safety car. Harry leads the Monaco Grand Prix. Matt is second. And so this isn't going to hurt. And Dave is in the pit. So Dave has rolled the dice. So so what tires is Dave going to go on then? So this might be an advantage. Remember, you don't lose as much time in the pit. Asdog is going to be out in third position, I think. But it might be because Jonathan Cox might get out in front. Jonathan Cox is on the podium then. So Jonathan Cox is on the podium. Asdog is 4th. Dave is 5th. Steve is coming into the pits as well, so he's making some thoughts. So we've got a lot of strategies going on at the moment then. Remember, on lap 25 out of 39, Timmy is now up into 6th position then, doing a good job there, Timmy, as he's getting his way back up from the field, showing that you cannot give up. Roscoe's in 8th position at the moment. Physico will be up to 9th 9th, and Double will be in 10th position, Snap 11th, and Steve Penny in 12th position. Harry leads the Monaco Grand Prix. Fantastic. He is in prime condition. We're off again, and we're off again. So Harry leads then in the McLaren. This is a brilliant, this is actually fantastic for Harry. Matt is second. He's got almost double the tyre wear of, double the tyre wear of Harry at the moment. As just on board then with Harry then in the McLaren, and he is he's looking fantastic at the moment, isn't he? Brilliant stuff. And oh, he's in the pits. He's in the pits. Harry's in the pits. Matt takes the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix. Remember what he said last night about he didn't like this track? Well, he's become a street racer once again, hasn't he? Of course, he won in Baku, didn't he? He called himself a Baku King, and now he's leading the Monaco Grand Prix. And he doesn't need to make a stop again. Harry is in the pits then. Jonathan Cox is up into second position. He was nervous about this race, and he's now up in the second position. Asdog is back up the third. Harry is coming out of the pits on this soft compound tyre. Dave is up in the fourth, and DNF Dave is up in the fourth. Brilliant. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to I wonder if there's going to be a bit of footage flying about after this race. Harry is fifth. Sixth is Timmy. Look, they're all starting to bunch up now. This is going to be fantastic into this race. Absolutely fantastic. So we've got just given on Harry at the moment, so he will be very quick indeed, won't he? Asdog is a second behind Jonathan. Jonathan's on 10 laps. Remember, Matt's out in the lead, but he's got 13 lap hard tyres on. Fizco set the fast lap of the race, and he's took it away from Timmy. So Jonathan Cox then is 13 seconds away, but remember, Matt is on 13 lap old tyres, 10 lap old tyres for Jonathan. Everyone else is pitted and is now on fresh tyres. Snap and Double are very close together. As always, got a 3-second penalty. I've kind of lost count of the penalty situation at the moment. As you see, then Asdog is really pushing on now, isn't he? Oh, he lost his front wing. I think it was at Sandoval. Oh, Matt's in the pits. So Matt is in the pits as well. As I'm absolutely in shock about what's going on in this race. And he's changing his front wing as well. He's going on the soft compound tyre. So now Jonathan leads this race. And look at this. Outdog's also back in the hunt as well. Double just getting out of the way there. Got a yellow flag in one. That's Double. I think Dave is back on the podium. And then we've got Harry in fourth. We've got Timmy in fifth. And look who's in sixth position. Is Steve, who's all over the back of Timmy. And you can see Timmy's done 15 laps on these tyres. And look at this. They're all over the back of each other. Oh, that would have been a bit of a... that would have been a scary manoeuvre there, wouldn't it? Of course, Timmy is on 15 laps on the medium compound tyres. Is he going to have to pit again? That's going to be the question. Asdog is now all over the back of Jonathan Cox. Is Jonathan Cox, can he get to the end on this race, on these tyres? I reckon he can. So then, this race has turned on its head in the last couple of laps. Absolutely fantastic. This has been a super race, And a yellow flag in 2 at the moment, and just taking a look to see what it is, but it's come and gone. As you can see, we've also got Steve and Timmy all over the back of each other as well. As we're coming into the final stage of this race. I don't want this race to end. Absolutely brilliant stuff. I'm sure the other guys will probably have something to say about that, though. Unfortunately, retirement is... I'm just taking a look to see what's going on. And Asdog's through and up into... I'm wondering what's going on. And there's also... it's another front wing for change for Jonathan Cox. Asdog is gone from... hero to zero and back to hero within a couple of laps. He is back up in the lead. Dave is up in the second now. Harry's in third. Timmy is fourth. Is Steve going to have a look? They're going into Sandoval, not quite. So Timmy fourth, fifth is Steve. Matt is in sixth position. Jonathan Cox come out of the pits in seventh position. Roscoe's in eighth. Physico is in ninth. 10th position is Penny. 11th position is Snap. So these two are going to also going to be finding each other's company in a minute as well. As now then, this is the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th, and Timmy is on 16 lap old hot and medium tyres, and all the guys around him are on very fresh mediums or softs at the moment. As Harry is now hunting down Dave. There's been some absolutely outstanding racing today, hasn't there? Fantastic stuff. Unfortunately, we've missed a couple of the talking points, haven't we, today? Back on board then with Matt at the moment, and he is on the soft compound tyres. This has been an absolutely incredible race. And look at this. Timmy is struggling, isn't he? He's struggling very much in that Mercedes. And look at this. Steve all over the back of him as they come into the swimming pool section. That Mercedes there looking very wobbly on the rear end there, isn't he? Is just on a look. And there's Steve there coming into Raskas here as he coming into pit. Jordan's like, oh, he's quite in contact there, and I think as he damages his front wing. I don't know, but there's a yellow flag and free as well. But Steve's got to go for it. Matt's also on board with Matt as well. Steve's through, and he's up into. Oh no, there's contact. There's contact, and Matt's damaged his front wing, and Timmy's gone into the wall there. And oh my gosh, and Timmy there. Oh, he's going. Oh, he's very close to the rear end of Matt now. And I think Matt's damaged his front wing. I think that's a big end plate that's gone as well. And Timmy has also damaged his end plate as well. And oh, and Timmy there bumping and grinding his way through. And I don't think the move was on there for Timmy, but he has damaged his end plate more now, I think. As oh, blimey, no Jean Cox in the background now, just gaining on this too. So Matt unfortunately might have to have another visit to the pit lane. Steve is now in the 4th position. Whew. Harry, I was going to say Harry hasn't really made much headway on the on Dave, but just like I said, that is now coming into a second now as well. We're on board with Harry in the battle for 2nd position now. That's always 6 seconds up the road, then 10 laps to go with this Monaco Grand Prix. We're coming into the final stages. It's incredible Monaco Grand Prix. Absolutely fantastic stuff from all these guys out there. Brilliant, and yeah, there's going to be a lot of talking points after this race, for that's for sure. So now they're coming up to the hill. They're coming up the hill again. Then can Harry overtake Dave with a couple of laps to go? And this has definitely been Dave's best race result, as Tim is in the pits and Matt's in the pits as well. So yeah, Matt is in the pits then. So you can see these guys a couple of laps ago are absolutely on the podium, looking very good, and they've all come into the pits. As he's coming into the low hairpin. To be honest though, if I know the wing damage coming very hard, but I wonder if someone lost an end play, I would have tried carrying on personally, but you know, you would have been very, very slow, wouldn't you? As you can see at the moment, though, Dave has got even though Dave is on the medium tyres and Harry's on the soft tyres, and Harry's got a 3-second penalty there, these penalties is really going to shape the final race, the final standings, aren't they? Because I think that it's kind of all a little lottery, all up in the air at the moment, isn't it? So then Asdog is now leading by 8 seconds from Dave, who's second. Harry is in 3rd position. Steve is 4th. He is 6 seconds behind this group. Harry has lost a bit of momentum now. I wonder if he, of course, got a 3-second penalty. He is 5th at the moment. As Harry has he damaged his end plate now? I think he's damaged his end plate, hasn't he? He did look very close to the wall. Let's just take a look on that McLaren. I'm wondering if fast forward he's dropping off of Dave's pace, or is he just trying to harvest? He is trying to harvest. You can see the telemetry down the right hand side. He is trying to harvest. We're on board then with the man who's 3rd in the Monaco Grand Prix as it stands at the moment. This would be a good points haul for Harry, but I think it'd be a brilliant points haul for Dave, because the point at the moment he's on 12 points. At 18 points would definitely throw him back into the thick of things, won't it, at the moment? But remember, there's still a long way to go. Harry is dropping back then. I'm just seeing if he damages end plate. I don't think he has. Oh, I think he has actually, hasn't he? This is poor, isn't it? I'm trying to figure out if he's damaged an end plate, and I've been trying to figure out for the last half a lap or so, as he's now coming into the swim pool section. And he's about 2 seconds back then from David at the moment. He should have the legs over Dave, shouldn't he, really? But he's really struggling out there. And yeah, he has damaged an end plate, so yeah, we finally figured out. But unfortunately for Harry then, so that's a big blow. So he ain't going to be able to challenge Dave for 2nd position at the moment. I think he might be more concerned about the man who's in 4th position now, which is Steve, who's on the medium compound tyres. And in the women's, Steve, of course, this is his first race since Australia. And what a way to make his return there with racing Monaco. Absolutely, talk about going into the thick end of things. Brilliant stuff. As we are now into the closing stages of this Monaco Grand Prix. Lap 32 out of 39. One of the most difficult 39 laps you're ever going to do in a car. Matt has set the fast lap of the race, so that's an extra point for Matt. He will now be on at 9 World Championship points, unless someone can go faster than him. Of course, that fastest lap point is new to Formula 1 2019. And to be honest, it's actually made it a lot more interesting, hasn't it, to the race, especially in the final stages of this Grand Prix. I tell you what, this race has been absolutely epic today, hasn't it? It's really been it's been all sorts of everyone has had issues in this race, haven't they? Not Asdog, who looks like he's had a command and lead, but I tell you what, it wasn't going right for him halfway through, was it? Where he lost his front wing and had to box. and but he's now back out and up into he's now back out and he's 6 seconds in front at the moment. But Dave has really started to put the hammer down at the moment. We've got Yo flying free. That's why it's Jonathan's lost his front wing, and that's a big blow for the Ferrari driver. He has gone off. I think it's at the swimming pool, isn't it? He's also got a puncture there as well, so he's in the pits. And Jonathan that is going to cost him 5th position. That's going to cost him an awful lot of time as well. Will he get out in front of Roscoe? He's also got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits then. So that'll be added on to the race time towards the end of this, before the end of this session. And absolutely, that's an absolutely bitter blow for Jonathan. He's going to be on a soft compound tyre though, so he is going to go for fastest lap now in the remainder of this race. It's going to be, there's a Renault behind him as well. I think that is Roscoe. It is Roscoe. Is he going to go out in front of is he going? It's Fizzico. He's going to go out in front of Roscoe. Oh, this is going to be touch and go. He's got the inside line there, but Roscoe takes 7th position, and so this is going to be a fantastic battle, isn't it? Towards the end of this race. So we've got 7 laps. Can Jonathan get fastest up, and can he also get in front of Roscoe? Of course, Roscoe was in the 3rd and 4th, wasn't he, earlier on this race? But unfortunately, he's had a bit of a difficult race, but he's still getting points at the moment. So the big headline out of this at the moment then is Asdog. Oh, Asdog's in the pits. Asdog is in the pits. Has he damaged his front wing? He has. Oh no! Dave takes the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix with just 5 laps to go. Fantastic. Harry is 2nd. Steve is up in the 3rd and on the podium. Oh, Asdog was leading this race, and once again we've got drama in this Monaco Grand Prix. He has come into the pits and changed his front wing. He's back out now in 4th position, and that is a bitter blow for Asdog. He is going to be absolutely gutted. I'm just on board with Jonathan at the moment then into the swimming pool section corner right now, and now coming into Raskas then. Yeah, to honest, it's not usually a very good overtaking place. Of course, Jules Bianchi muscles his way past Kobayashi, and look how close he is on the back there. Jonathan Cox all over the back of the Red Bull then. Very vicious Jonathan Cox. He's going to go on the outside, is he? Oh, into Sandovot there, but Roscoe there just defends on fantastic. Well, but he's had a bad exit now, and now flying to the hill. Oh my gosh, I thought they was going to come together there. Going over the crest of the hill then, coming down then into Casino Square then. This is getting very feisty as well. Jonathan all over the road at the moment. Fizzico is at 9th position, but he's a lap down coming into Mirabeau then. You saw the inside front right there is unloading all over the back of Roscoe. Roscoe's done 19 laps on the medium compound tyres, which is why he's struggling for pace at the moment. And coming into and you can see coming out of the you can see look at the harbour there on the left hand side there into the tunnel. Then of course Pablo Montoya and Schumacher clashed there in 2004, and he's got he's done the switchback. He's on the inside. Oh, that was kind of you kind of seen that coming there. He's damaged his front wing there. That's going to cause him some understeer. But is he going to come in the pits, or is he going to just go with it? I think he should just go with it now. And he lost a lot of downforce there, didn't he? Jonathan did, and I thought he was going to go into the back of Roscoe as well. Ooh, wow, this is feisty stuff, isn't it? From Jonathan, of course, with Italian descendants, isn't he? And now he's going to have another crack, isn't he? Going down. Oh, and Roscoe there parking his car right in the middle of the track then. Wow. Anyway, Dave is still leading this incredible Monaco Grand Prix. This is like the 82 Monaco Grand Prix. It seems like no one wants to win this race tonight. Absolutely fantastic. He's going to go on the outside coming into Casino Square. Look at Fizzico all over the back as well. In the Renault there, Roscoe defending beautifully, isn't he? This is great to watch. He's going to go on the outside. No way. I thought he was going to go on the outside in the Mirabeau there. And to be honest, he's lost both end plates there, Jonathan is. So he's really going all out, all or nothing there, isn't he? He ain't going to get lower than 8th, is he? Because the Fizzico is behind him, but he's a lap down at the moment. I think his best opportunity is coming out in the Seafront chicane here. Asdog's got the fastest lap of the race, so he's trying to gain on. Oh, he's through! He's through! Brilliant overtake there from Jonathan Cox, but Roscoe is trying to come back at him. And oh my gosh, they're wheel to wheel, not giving each other space. Roscoe, oh, into back. They're all side by side, and now they're going into this. Oh, brilliant! Brilliant! And Fizzico there just steaming his way through, and wow, that was getting a bit feisty, wasn't it? Proper elbows up there. As Roscoe's in the pits, and I think he's damaged his car. Then that's possibly why. And now Fizzico is in front of Jonathan. But remember, they're a whole lap behind Jonathan's a whole lap in front of Fizzico at the moment. Oh my gosh, and yeah, as I was saying, this race is like the 1982 race, as we've got a yellow flag in 3. As yeah, so basically it looks like no one wants to win this race tonight, do they? And absolutely fantastic. We've had Asdog win. Sorry, Asdog who was leading. Then for the first part of the stint. Then we had Harry that was leading as well. Then both of them we think collided. Then we had Matt who was leading. Then we had Jonathan Cox who was leading. And now we got Dave who's winning with 5.7 seconds gap over Harry, who is now being chased by Steve. Steve's all over the back of Harry like a bad suit at the moment, isn't he? It's they're battling for a second and third at the moment. An absolutely brilliant comeback drive from Steve, I've got to say. It's absolutely fantastic stuff. In fourth position is Asdog at the moment. Of course, he was our pole sitter. He'd be very disappointed to be on fourth at the moment. Yes, he does have fast as that, but I think that's not really going to be much. Oh, lovely shot here, and you can see the outside front wing there. It's been a bit of a as a double. Has got a 3-second penalty there at the moment. He's in 12th position as it stands. Matt is in fifth position. We've got Timmy in 6th. Jonathan Cox is 7th. Roscoe is in 8th position at the moment here. Him and Jonathan had a bit of a feisty old battle, didn't they, for 7th and 8th. 9th position is Physico, and 10th position is Penny at the moment. Penny, of course, remember, spun quite early on in this race, and unfortunately he wasn't able to recover it because he had blue flags all the time, which you have to go out of the way when there's a blue flag. Otherwise you get a penalty, don't you? So yeah, he really had his hands timed behind his back there, didn't he? But Penny's done a good job there. He's only 17 seconds behind Physico. Snap is in 11th position, and Double is in 12th for both retirements. The championship leader is out of this race. He retired at this place here, San Lavot. We lost Wee John, and we've also lost Energy Dan as well. Then, and really, it's been a tough old day for some drivers, hasn't it? But it's an absolute brilliant. We only had 8 cars finish in the Elite League last night. Well, we've got 12 cars running at the moment. But it's been absolutely fantastic. It's not, even though we've had 12 cars finished, it's been action everywhere indeed. As just taking a look at the comments then, as we've got Nick Musty has just commented on. We've also got Lee Dyer. Love Sean so much. Sean's my new F1 hero. Forget Schumacher. Oh, thank you guys. That really touched me. Anyway, is Dave now then coming into the swimming pool for the second to last time. Then let's just ride on board then with Dave then as we enjoy this final lap of this epic Monaco Grand Prix. Absolutely fantastic stuff. As Steve's got a penalty, then remember that, well, I must admit, I've got to say about penalties, I'm not sure what the penalty situation is like. We've had penalties galore, haven't we, in this race? But yeah, Dave is now on the final lap of the Monaco Grand Prix. He's done 39 laps around here. And the story of the race has been the first stint was quite we had all sorts going on, didn't we, in the first stint? But then the second stint come around. Well, there wasn't really a second stint, was there? It was just all went absolutely crazy. Yellow flag in 2. Just taking a look to see. Oh, and that's Steve Penny who's gone off the track at the moment down at Mirabeau. So yeah, Steve Penny there just in the same place as Rosberg parked his car. As and Asdog's all over the back as well, so we've got a battle for second, third and fourth in the final stage of this race then. Absolutely fantastic stuff, really is. So Asdog wants a podium at least in this very hard race for Asdog. Harry's done a great job today, hasn't he? As does Steve go as well. I think it's going to be difficult to determine who driver the day. Well, it's going to be difficult because I think that Dave has done an absolutely brilliant job as in the Red Bull, hasn't he? He's now coming through the swimming pool for the 39th and last time. Here he is, the second part of the swimming pool then, and he's now coming into Raskas. Here he is, and he's got one corner to go. Anthony knows the man who is the brainchild behind this, and here he is. Dave wins the Monaco Grand Prix. Fantastic for Dave, absolutely fantastic, brilliant stuff. And what about second then? Harry comes through to finish second. Steve comes through to finish third. Brilliant podium. That's a fantastic podium. Asdog in fourth position and he's damaged his front wing. What about Matt? He comes through to finish fifth. And Tibby there is coming through then to finish sixth in the Mercedes then. Brilliant stuff. As brilliant stuff indeed then, as a Mercedes is in sixth position. Jonathan Cox there is coming through to finish seventh. I think he might be a bit disappointed, especially with right up there. I think there's going to be a lot of very disappointed drivers, isn't there? I don't think the top 3 are going to be disappointed though. Fantastic. Jonathan Cox there finishes 7th. He's got a 5-second penalty for not serving his 5-second penalty. His 9th position is Physico. 10th position is Steve Penny. So those are the final 2 point scoring. Snap is 11th, Double is 12th. Roscoe is the only last man not to not to score any point. Sorry, not to be lapped then. And here he comes in through Antinous then for the final time. Brilliant stuff from very good stuff from Roscoe to just stay in this race. But Dave winning the Monaco Grand Prix, he must be overjoyed with that result. Up until this point in the championship, he has been very very difficult. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And you can see there's the top three now. Then Dave then winning the Monaco Grand Prix. Well, of course, Jackie Stewart famously said that it's a half a championship. Dave might have to go some to get himself right in the championship. But remember, our championship leader had an awful race today, didn't he? And that's the first time he hasn't scored this season. Second position was Harry, brilliant drive from Harry, and third position Steve making his return. Of course, he started on the front row on the soft compound tyre, and he was definitely one against the rub of the green, didn't he? Let's just take a look at the with the final results then from the Monaco Grand Prix. Look at all those penalties there. Dave from fourth on the grid wins the Monaco Grand Prix. Harry from fifth on the grid to second. Steve third position. Fourth position is Asdog. I wonder if you might be disappointed at that. Fifth position was Matt from 10th to 5th. Timmy from 14th to 6th. Fantastic. Jonathan Cox 7th. Roscoe in 8th. Physico in 9th. Steve Penny is in 10th position, and then just outside the points is Snap and Double. Retirements then not that bad. Championship leader out. 12th position is Wee John, and Energy Dan is in 13th position. And I'm not going to steal the man's spotlight anymore. Dave has joined us in the commentary box right now. Fantastic win.
What has just happened?
I don't know.
Unbelievable. How have I won this? I was in lean, fuel, lowers, every lap.
Here he goes. Get your gift going, Dave. Go on.
Oh, man, that was insane.
I called it, though, with that gift.
You did? I don't know, that race was a blur, man. Like, I made a bad start, lost a place to Harry. So cautious at the start. And just got into it, just literally had a clear track all the way, just kept myself out of trouble. One stop, worked a tree. Honestly, I was settling for a podium. I was settling for third behind Harry, but I think Harry and Asdog had a collision at the front.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't know who was second until Jonathan Cox pitted. I had no idea I'd be leading the race 50 laps to go, but that was insane.
It felt like no one wanted to win this race. We had so many leaders in this race. Yeah, it was unreal. We just seemed to have drivers that just really was not keen on winning this race. It was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, to be honest, that came out of nowhere, Dave, didn't it? Really brilliant stuff.
Oh, for me, I knew, mate. I just wanted that third place, but I can't believe it, mate. I haven't even finished.
And to be honest, I'm lost for words, to be honest. I was that was a proper, really struggling. That was a struggling old race to keep up on. My gosh, all sorts going on. But
still 12 finishes though.
Yeah, I was saying that in the commentary box actually. Still 12 finishers was absolutely fantastic. Somehow, with all the action going on, it was amazing that there was 12 finishers. Absolutely fantastic. And yeah, in terms of going forward, then because that is an absolutely fantastic result. That's going to put you right in the mix in the championship. What's going to be your ambitions going forward now? Surely that is going to be.
I don't know. I've done it. I've won Monaco. I retire. Well, you can't beat that. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, in the swimming pool. I'm in. I'll see you there, Snap. It's absolutely unreal, yeah, and I'm confident about Canada, but yeah, mate, I can't believe it. I'm absolutely stoked.
It's half a championship, Monaco is, so that's what Jackie Stewart once said. So
I'll take it. I'll take the half.
Absolutely fantastic, Dave. Well done, amazing race. What a race to win. Let's come to you, Matt. I think you was looking in a very good spot as well, and then all of a sudden it kind of fell apart, didn't it? I think you might be a bit disappointed with fifth today.
I had it, mate. I'd won that, and about 12 laps ago I got a puncture on the second to last corner, so I had to pit again.
Yeah, that was really odd.
I think 6 drivers had it, didn't they?
Yeah. At
one stage, Steve could have had it, as Harry, you, Snap. Yeah.
To be honest, there was all sorts going on there.
I was absolutely heartbroken when I got that punch out. I what? I won't deny it, but we had a good laugh tonight, to be fair. That's what it's about.
I'm really disappointed that I, just at the start with the Provincial Championship.
It was a good one. I'm gonna go watch it now.
I tell you what, fair play to the back markers for doing well on the blue flags. Because it got hairy at times, but double was fantastic in the blue flags. I think everyone I came across were brilliant.
It was good. It was really good.
It was absolutely fantastic. It really was. Oh, cheers! But I missed quite a lot of the action tonight because there was all sorts going on. I was like, oh my god, Asdog's got a broken front wing. It was all going on.
I missed it all. I had such a boring race. I think I was on my own the whole race. That's how I liked it.
I was going to say you didn't have much coverage for most of it till the end. I was like, we got a ride on board with you, and then we had like Asdog, we had Harry.
Should have just left him.
Just sent him to get on with it. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic, really was. I think and a snap. Could we just have a quick review if that's all right? I think yeah, a bit of a difficult day today, really, but at least you finished though. How but to be honest, that's really two really difficult races out the way now, Baku and Monaco. So now we get to the traditional circuits of Canada. How are you feeling going into Canada?
I knew that was coming.
We should just have a wet race with Snap.
To be honest, it usually does rain in Canada, so yeah, I think there might be more than half a chance there. But yeah, Canada, of course, in a week's time, both the elite and the super drivers will be back for Canada. Probably one of the best races of the season. Absolutely brilliant track there, and we've got 3 DRS zones as well. That'll make up for only one here today in Monaco. But we didn't need the second DRS zone, did we? Absolutely fantastic racing tonight. So brilliant. Thanks to all the guys. Thanks to all the guys for race. A big congratulations to Dave. Brilliant stuff. Commiseration. I must say, commiserations to everyone else. I must say, I think it was 82 all over again. No one wanted to win, and Jonathan has just joined us in the commentary box as well. So let's have a quick word with Jonathan then. Jonathan, you
sorry.
You there, Jonathan?
Why can't I hear?
So how you feel? Hello. So how was that race then for you, Jonathan? I'm feeling that you might be a bit disappointed with that one.
To be honest with you, no, I'm not disappointed. To be honest, Monaco's tracks for me, from my driving style. I don't seem to retire, and Monaco, I'm actually quite happy with myself. On to Canada.
Yeah, I was going to say, as I said to Snap a minute ago, it's more the traditional circuits. Now we've got Canada, we've got France, Austria, Britain, Germany, Hungary. What a great selection of tracks coming up in the next several weeks. It's absolutely fantastic. But yeah, at one point I thought you was on course to get a very good podium here, and then did you have a punch or did you damage your? I think you damaged your front wing, didn't you, at the swimming pool?
Yeah, I damaged my front wing.
I was going to say. Excellent stuff. As I said, congratulations to everyone out there who finished. It was an absolutely difficult race, and not that bad. And didn't actually finish today's race, so that will close down the championship as well. So yeah, this is now. It's not all over yet, everyone, and we're going into Canada next, and anything can happen in Formula 1, and it usually does. Remember, the elite guys will come into will be in action next week in Canada, same time Wednesday, and of course the super guys will also be back in action in Canada as well. Snap is hoping for rain. I'm hoping for rain as well. I reckon it's fantastic because it rained now last season, if I remember, and yeah, as I've just been disconnected. But anyway, from everyone here, from everyone who's joined us, say thank you for joining us. Thank you for all the comments, as there's been some interesting comments as well. Yeah, and we'll see you next week in Canada.